Welcome back to another game of D&D in the world of Terra. I'm Ark, or Jason, your friendly neighborhood DM. I apologize, I have a little bit of a lingering cough and sore throat from this week, so I apologize for any sniffling or voice wavering or coughing directly into your earpieces. I will do my best not to do that. With me, as always, is Bobby, playing Grim.
Hello.
Lex, playing Shae.
Hello.
Phen, as played by Adam.
Yo.
And joining us today is my old DM and good friend George, playing Meidrax.
Hello.
We'll introduce him in a little while. So previously on D&D.
Okay. So you guys remember we went through the forest at night, fought some ogres and did some shit there, but then we found this like fortress thing, and it's really, really big and really, really old, and so we decided to explore it because a hero's got to have a castle. Shae needs a castle because she's a hero. So we started exploring, and we found these stairs that go down, and I was dumb and I forgot to check for traps. And Grim almost died by these spear thingies that like shot out of the wall, but I was fast enough, and Shae was fast enough to jump out of the way, and we didn't die, and it was really, really neat, but really scary at the same time. And so like we're in this room, it's kind of L-shaped. We go to the left, and it's this room full of skeletons like laying dead on a table, and we don't know if they were poisoned and somebody like pulled the plates away, or if we like I don't know, but we're like, you know what? We've fought some shit, and we're really hating life right now because Grim's got no spells. I'm a little bit hurt, and everybody's just having a bad time. And so we're like, let's just close this door, pretend we didn't look in there, and we're going to take a nap for the day. Woke up and then went in there, and sure enough, those skeletons, they tried to murder us. And we killed them. It was awesome. So, we're feeling pretty good, killing some skeletons, going to another room. What's there? Motherfucking mummy. Like, now we got to deal with a mummy. So we're fighting. I'm dying. Grim's dying. Shae saves us. Right, like she does, because hero, and then like we almost die, and I got up and I'm feeling really shitty, and Grim's feeling really shitty, and we're pretty sure that we got mummy rot, which I don't know if that means I'm going to become a mummy, and if I do become a mummy, do I have to get like wrapped in bandages? Because I really don't want to. I feel like I'm going to trip on them, and it's just going to be bad all around. So like. We also saw, and I don't remember if this was before or after, but I remember seeing like these coffin thingies and sarcophagi, and they probably got out of them. That would be smart. And that's where we're at, I think.
Well done. Now, what I don't remember is, did we get a rest while I was waiting for... Cool.
It was a short one, though.
Very specifically, we talked about this. I remember listening to that on the recording. So the party comes to. You are awake. Shae is moving about the room, having rested and just waiting for you to wake up.
Do we notice an extra bounce in her step?
It's up to her.
Yes, sure. I'm feeling good.
Well, that and the
all
new
right?
shoes.
Oh, the new shoes.
Right. You got new shoes.
I did get new shoes.
How do you like them?
Oh man, it's like I'm flying. They're divine.
Aren't they boots of flight?
They're super comfy. Yeah, very becoming. They look good.
That seems reasonable. So where are we going now? Are we going to go to the left again? We should go to the left again.
Well,
Worked
if
out
you guys
last
are
time.
in the little crypt space, you've gone and explored the well. Looking up, you can see, up to the surface above. Back in the crypt, you can go out of that little area. Not the crypt, I'm sorry. That little the space where you fought the mummy and the two ancient warriors. There's the altar. You can go back out of the altar into the main, like, that feasting area, the grand hall kind of thing.
Hey, guys. What if we just climb out of the damn well and get out of here?
But how are we going to really prove that Shae's a hero if we don't explore the other rooms?
Well, we have to get back alive to tell the story, for one thing.
I feel good.
Except for that mummy rot.
It's fine.
All right, let's go. You want me to lead the way?
Yeah.
All right.
We just have to be careful, but I think as long as we don't do anything weird.
And well, actually, maybe you should go in front and look for traps.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll
take the back just in case.
Okay.
So
Be
nothing
careful.
can attack Shae from the back.
Thank you.
Yeah. Protect Shae. So, well, if we go back the same way we came, we're probably good not to run into traps. There weren't any more doors, were there? I don't remember if there were doors.
We did kind of close ourselves in at one point, but
there are
up to
more
there.
doors out of the like the feasting room.
Oh, right. There were 6 in there.
Ooh.
But they all opened in.
Maybe it's the mummy rot, but I can't remember why we're down here in the first place.
We're exploring.
Just for the sake of it?
Well, we're going to keep this tower for Shae. We got to clean it out if Shae's going to keep it for her.
I didn't know if that was still the plan. Like I said, it's kind of foggy.
Never the plan. But
I thought it was a plan. Every hero needs a headquarters, right?
it's more of a dream than a plan.
I thought, Castle Ruins would make a great headquarters until it was described, and then there was mummies and rot. And,
Okay, Grim.
and undead
Also,
skeletons.
We got to overcome your fear of, stuff. That's another thing.
I'm not afraid of stuff.
You kind of are.
Not all stuff. Okay, some stuff I'm averse to.
Okay. Well, you're going to overcome them. And apparently mummies is one of those things, so we're going to overcome your fear of mummies.
Wait, you say that like it's unusual to be afraid of mummies.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little afraid of mummies.
Okay. I'm just saying.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
It's not unusual. If you're not afraid of a mummy, you're probably another mummy.
Hey, is this going to turn us into a mummy?
I don't think so.
Did we get mummy disease?
It is definitely a mummy disease, but I don't think we actually turn into one. That's werewolves you're thinking of.
That'd be so cool.
I don't... other than poor fashion choice, I really don't think there's anything else that's less appealing than being a mummy.
I can't imagine that we'd have to wear the bandages.
I think that's kind of part of being a mummy.
Wearing bandages?
Yeah.
That's stupid. Why don't we just take them off?
Some things have a uniform.
My pants off, and that's fine.
Some things have a uniform. Being a mummy, I think, is one of them. It's the bandages.
That's dumb. I'm going to be the first mummy to not wear the bandages.
I assume we're having this conversation while we walk back to where we're going.
I legitimately don't know.
I'm going to say that's the case.
The first sentence of that carried you to the other side of the fortress, and the rest of it's just standing in front of
Now
a
we're just
door,
standing
maybe.
in the banquet hall discussing this shit.
So
Yeah,
the first door on the left. That's where we're going to go. I'm going to go look for traps.
Our left now or our left before?
Our left now. Always now.
Okay,
That way, you always right, and you get the right way out.
When you open this door, it looks like it's just some sort of old empty larder, like a little storage room, some barrels, shelves and whatnot. You presume this is kind of where they kept food between being brought from the surface and being eaten and all that. Doesn't look like there's really anything of interest here.
Okay, I'm glad there wasn't a trap on that, because that's what I was doing, is searching for traps. But that's cool. To the next left.
Apparently
Next
there were
left.
not any.
Is
I'm gonna check it for traps before I open it.
Sure.
I rolled a perception check. You want there? Yeah.
Yes.
6.
It's not locked.
Completely safe.
Or it's not
Ooh.
trapped.
Is it locked?
No.
I'll listen,
Look, listen, and feel.
and that's a 21 to
You
listen.
don't hear anything.
I will open the door.
This appears to be quarters, but unlike the kind of bunkhouse or resting area you've found before, this appears to be for like a single person, maybe like an officer.
Ooh.
Okay.
A little nicer.
Loot it.
There's a bed and all that. A big trunk at the end of the bed.
Let's do some searching, boys. And Shae. That's a 16 to search the room.
The only thing that you find of interest, other than another door on the other side of the room, which is locked, is this strong box at the foot of the bed.
Check the strong box for traps.
It's actually mostly kind of like, because it had some wood elements that are kind of rotted away, so you can actually like see inside of it. It doesn't look like there's any sort of mechanisms at the.
Okay, I'll just kind of break it open.
So there's some other littler boxes inside and like pouches. You find an emerald worth about 20 gold, a larger sapphire worth 50 gold, and a nice little leather pouch that's mostly held up, although it is very dry. It's like a little leather thing that you would slip on your belt, and when you flip open the lid, it has two vials of what appears to be thick, almost like congealed, maybe with age, red liquid. Kind of like a maple syrup.
I'll pop the top off and take my pinky and just the tip of my pinky, smell it, taste it, try to identify it.
Ew.
They are old but functional potions of healing.
Okay.
Ooh.
That is so gross.
Hey, adventurers, man. You got to taste it, and I'm going to show Grim what he needs to do to how to identify it. With the pinky, smell it a little bit, just put it on your tongue.
Ugh. You don't even know where that's been or what's in it.
But you know what? If I'm going to die, I'm going to drink it.
This is how people get mummy rot.
And I found potions of healing. So, but the thing is, though, because you're taking in such a small amount, most of the time, it's not going to hurt you.
Is it weird that now that I know what they are, it does not bother me as much that you tasted them?
Right? See? You just got to try it.
See, no,
And
I'd like
sometimes
to retcon my response to "good job."
Okay. Do you guys have any pouches that this will fit in?
I got a backpack.
I think, yeah, you have your normal kind of traveling gear.
I'm going to give one of the pouches to Grim, and I'm going to put one on my belt. Is that okay, Shae?
Yeah, that's fine. You guys need it.
Okay.
So that's a potion of healing?
Yeah. The 2d4 plus 4. Wait. 2d4 plus 2? What the hell are these things?
That's right. 2d4 plus 50.
No. Unacceptable. Alright.
50d4 plus 2?
And Grim dies of mummy rot.
Damn it!
Wah, wah. Roll a new tune.
Alright, so back the way you came, or locked door ahead of you?
Always left.
Wait, yeah, check out that locked door.
Yep, I'll go check it for traps before I try to pick it. That is an 11.
You do not believe it to be trapped.
Okay, I will go try to pick the lock with my thieves' tools. That is a 12.
You are unable to pick the lock.
Whoa.
Doesn't mean you can't try again, but...
Yeah, I'll give it another go. That's a 16.
You, this time, click it.
Okay.
The
And
door
acid
swings.
sprays on my face.
The door swings open, and it is a small office, probably for this commander or officer beyond. It appears to have just kind of a single desk and a couple bookshelves. Everything is mostly empty. With piles of kind of like rotted away books and whatnot here and there. Some old maps that are just illegible and all that. On the desk, you see what looks to be kind of the tattered remnants of an old journal, leather-bound journal. And there's next to that on the desk, there's an ornate dagger, and then there's also a little what looks to be just a cloth or a leather purse.
I'll go look in the purse.
The purse contains, you'd guess, about 25 gold pieces.
Okay. Hey, Grim, is this magic?
Ooh.
I'll hand him the dagger. Shae, can you read this? I'll hand Shae the journal.
Arcana check?
Yeah.
It might be magical, but I rolled a 2.
You can't tell. It just looks like a nice dagger.
Actually, I rolled a 3, but I have a -1 in Arcana.
Good to know. The old journal just seems to be basic ledgers. The pages that you can kind of make out seem to be general notes about troop movement, training, other such things. There are some notes near the end about a siege, but you can't make much out of it.
When nobody's looking, I taste the dagger. Just like just a lick.
Fucking awesome.
You're not sure if it's just the old metal or what, but you get a weird, like, almost like that battery taste on your tongue.
Mmm. Like when you put a 9-volt on there?
Yeah.
Ooh, woo, ah! Yeah, that fucker's magic.
Or like a penny.
Yeah, that's
not like a tingle from active, like, but just that weird, like, you put a piece of metal or something in your mouth and you get that weird, like, oh, there's a reaction here.
Mm-hmm. It's magically delicious.
Is it really?
No.
Oh. Well, maybe it'll sell for a pretty penny.
It might, or you could stab somebody with it.
Are you good with daggers? Because I'm not, like, good with daggers. I can use them, but...
Well, yeah, I can use them, but like you, I'm probably better off swinging something harder. It's pretty, though.
Let's just hold on to it for now.
Okay.
You know, it does have sort of a heroic flair to it. You want to hold on to it, Shae?
No, I'm good.
Yeah? Look at that filigree. That's really well done.
It does look really nice.
It does. All right, I'll just tuck it in my belt. If anybody needs one, you let me know.
Okay. I put that on the thing. To the next room.
So this leaves only one door in the entire place that you have not explored yet. And this is the leftmost door of the entire place. Back into the grand hall, there is what apparently is not apparently, but is basically just a set of iron bars leading into a darkened room and down some stairs.
Wait, bleeding?
Leading.
Oh.
Changes everything.
Woo! Change of plans, guys.
Well, I guess we go downstairs then.
Or do we go see what that other door in the entryway was?
Unless I'm missing a door, should be the only door left.
So wasn't there 2 doors where the stairs were?
You've gone through both of them.
Oh, okay.
You said door left.
Yeah, okay. Then, yeah, let's go downstairs. Who knows what we might find? Maybe we'll find a cure for mummy rot, whatever that is.
Okay, so it's dark down here, so at least one of you needs some solution to that. I don't know what you've been using so far.
Light on the sword again.
That's right.
Yep.
So you enter what appears to be a big hollowed out space. You can see pillars here and there. It's a relatively low ceiling compared to some of the other rooms previously. This appears to be a crypt.
Oh.
Probably.
You mean like when you say crypt, you mean like an old place where dead people are buried, or like a gangbanger that wears blue?
Crypt, not a crypt.
Ah, so.
With a T.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so there are, throughout the place, there are various plinths of stone that have remains on them. The walls are carved out 3 or 4 slots high with remains in them. This appears to be generally a 50-foot by 50-foot room.
Would you define these remains as skeletal?
Yes.
Are they mostly put together skeletons?
They're resting as though they were left in their
Purposefully.
honored state. Yeah.
So they may or may not wake up.
They may or may not have been poisoned at dinner.
So, against the far wall, there is what appears to be kind of like a. It's not like an open crack, but it looks like where part of the wall kind of crumbled. This is like directly across from you at the other end, and halfway between you and that, there is what appears to be a pile of metal.
A pile of metal.
Yeah, big
could that
like
be?
rusted.
That sounds
hunks of metal
suspicious.
pieces. Grim, you are having trouble keeping your eyes off of the pile of metal. There's something about, and not just the pile of metal in general, but kind of like down towards the bottom right of it. Every time you kind of pull away, you just kind of feel yourself be brought back to you. You know what I mean? Just that kind of like, I can't.
Cannot look away.
Yeah, almost like when you're tired and you try to keep your eyes up, but you can't. But except it's bringing your eyes back to this point.
Okay. Am I otherwise entranced?
You are not entranced at all. You just
Okay.
feel some
I just
sort
can't
of
look
tug.
away.
No,
I wish to
mean,
investigate
you
it.
can. You just feel this want to pull back towards it.
I'm going to pull back towards it, and I'm going to investigate it.
Don't touch the bodies, please.
How close
Understood.
Are you, where are you going? Sorry. Are you
Toward
going
the
up to
pile. Toward the pile, yes. No, I'm not going to get like right up to it,
Yeah.
but I'm going to approach. I will approach it immediately,
cautiously?
but cautiously.
As you draw closer, you realize that it's not just a random pile of metal pieces. It is in fact what appears to be a hulking suit of armor.
Oh
that
shit!
has like collapsed on the ground, mostly in a humanoid form. But the right arm has a massive, now it's all rusted out and like pitted, but it's still like the armor plates themselves are like 3 or more inches thick of what must have been like actual armor grade iron or steel. This is beef, right? You see that the right arm has a big jagged blade on it, not held in a hand, but actually coming out of the arm, kind of wickedly curved, but really pitted and rusted and eaten away. The left arm looks damaged, but it has some sort of what looks like a hooked spear on it, and this is where your eyes kind of keep going, kind of looped over. As you kind of look from the side, you can see its outstretched arm. There is a silver chain, completely untarnished, silver chain, and it appears like it is eating into the metal around it, and attached to that chain is the holy symbol that fits in the altar that you were looking for earlier.
Oh shiz!
What is it?
You okay? You didn't touch anything, did you?
No, but I'm about to, guys.
Oh man.
Oh, hold on. Okay, how many skeletons are here? Like, because if there's like 20 of them, I'm going to be that guy, and I'm going to say we should desecrate the bodies and murder them before they stand up.
There's well more than 20.
If they're going to stand up, as soon as you touch one, we're screwed. I still have one shot of turn undead before I have to rest, so...
That's like the dream, right? Just hundreds of undead coming at you and turn undead at the last second. No, there are literally hundreds and hundreds of cadavers down here. Not cadavers, corpses.
I'm more worried about this armor suit coming to life.
I would be.
Okay.
So, I'm just the DM. What do I know?
Right. So, I want to try to take this chain off and remove the thingy.
Okay. Can I try to get behind him first?
Yeah, totally.
On the other side of the armor, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I want to position
whatever direction is front in this clumped.
Yeah. Once you kind of start to pass it, once you guys are kind of close enough, the pile of metal shifts as if like one piece kind of collapsed and there's like a puff of dust and that screech of rusty metal on metal.
I jump back and pee a little bit.
2 drops.
1, 2. The entire pile kind of starts to shake a little bit and move.
I pull out my maul.
And all the arms kind of come together, and it starts to stand.
Shit, as it's doing this, can I like try to do an acrobatics kick to throw it off balance?
You try.
Like, I want to like run at it.
It's in like a 3 or 4 point stance right now, and it's much bigger than you.
That's fine. I've got to catch it off guard. Shit.
That's what you want to hear.
The hall echoes with the resounding tink of the halfling bouncing off the thing.
Guys, I think we need to go.
Back up.
Yeah.
How important is it, Grim?
It's the key.
So it's important?
Well, if we want to keep going, it's the key.
Well, stand your ground.
God damn it.
This is what you came for. This is going to make you a hero.
19 for Grim.
Nice.
13 for Phen.
5 for Shae. She's terrified.
Is it 1 M or 2, Grim? I can't remember. I can't remember if we go back and forth or if there's an actual.
It is 1 M.
Okay. I think I always want to think
middle,
it's 2
middle
because
initial
of the
is
brother.
M.
Grim M. Grim M Brothers.
Greywood.
That's right.
I like Brothers Grimm though. That's good.
All right, and a 5 for little Shae. George, I hope you are enjoying what's happening now.
Indeed.
You would like to engage. I would love for you to roll a d20 as well, please.
What is it for?
Nothing having to do with Meidrax.
Okay, 14.
14. Very nice.
Oh shit, he's gonna be the monster, guys.
No. No. I've already made him betray the party once.
Yeah, we did
For
that
those
already.
of you listening to this, in the future, you'll hear the actual, maybe in a few years, you'll hear the actual first introduction of George as a player in our other game. But we're so many years behind in recordings being released to YouTube on that one that this is actually his first. So anyway, but if you're listening to this first, don't worry, he doesn't betray the party in the other one. Wink, wink. So this thing fully stands up, and it just like, it's moving like, it stands up and kind of like rolls its shoulders a little bit, and then it kind of hunches forward. And it's just this hulking mass of metal. I don't think any of you are old enough that this thing would mean anything to you. So I'm going to say you don't know what this is. It doesn't look like a golem that you've ever heard of, but that's the nearest thing that you can think of to it, because it doesn't have like a person inside of it. You can see that its left arm is like severely damaged and almost kind of hanging off to a degree.
Is that the arm with the chain?
And the spear, yeah. It also has its own chain on it that's not part of the thing that's attached to, like, the spear. But this looks like some sort of, like, war machine, right? But you're not sure if it doesn't seem to be driven by, like, the same things that drive machinery in towns, or, like, it doesn't, like, seem steampunky in that way. It seems like dark magic and evil. There's something about this. And as far as you can tell, it's trying to steal the holy symbol. Maybe. Or something. You don't know. Anyway.
Evil.
Hit it up.
Okay, that's, yeah. So, sensing the evil, my eyes spark brilliantly. Like,
oh shit.
Full-on white light and, like, sparklers. Psst. And I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Ranged spell attack. Let's call that a 25 to hit.
It's good.
And that's 4d6. It's 9 plus 6. So 15 radiant damage, and the next attack before my next turn has advantage against him.
Okay, so I'm sorry, how much damage total?
9 and 6, 15.
15. Solid hit. Alright. How far away from it are you? Like 10, 15 feet?
Let's say sure. Okay. Yes.
Phen, you're probably about 10 feet away from it as well, on the other side of Grim. Shae, you're probably 25 feet back.
Okay.
Okay. At the end of your turn, Grim, the thing is going to use one of its special actions to, as it recoils from your thing, it's going to level the spear arm at you, and you're going to see just jets of, like, what look like steam or compressed air shoot out the side, and the spear is going to launch just this harpoon right at you.
Oh shit.
It rolls very poorly, though, so it will miss. So the harpoon is going to clatter off one of the plinths next to you, recoil back, and then as it's kind of like spinning through the air, the chains on its arm are going to snap taut, and it's going to very fast drive it back into it's almost like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat fires the little thing. Like, it's not a like huge spear with like it's like a harpoon point and a chain.
Damn it.
Does he yell, "Get over here"?
He doesn't. He doesn't speak at all.
Damn it.
I toyed with it a lot. This is the monster that I lost when Word closed on me for no fucking reason last night. I had this thing entirely done, like an entire page of this thing done that I was very happy with, and then lost it all. All right, George, you have 3 choices. 1, you may all you know at this point, and obviously you're playing something just for the purpose of this, but all you know is that there is great evil and great good fighting around you. You can sense it, and you sense that you are also in a holy place. So you have 3 options in order to help defeat this evil. 1, you can attack it. 2, you can bless those attacking it, or you bless the worthy. Or 3, you can protect the worthy.
Gonna go with protect.
All right. Give me a D6 roll.
2.
Grim, a shimmering shield appears around you. You have the effects of the shield spell until George's next turn. So that's plus 5 AC.
Holy
Nice.
hell.
So the
That's
same
awesome.
like shimmering whitish blue light around you is also shining around the holy symbol hanging off its arm. And as it lights up, there's a little bit of sizzle as it like almost acidically eats through the arm a little bit more.
Take
George
that,
is-
evil fuck.
George is playing the inanimate object of the holy symbol. Yay!
I love it. That's awesome.
That is so cool.
Phen, because I didn't want you just to sit here, so I needed an NPC that wasn't an NPC. Phen, get to it.
Phen's gonna go tickle his butthole with his rapier.
There's a lot wrong with that sentence.
And so much right.
That'll be a 22 to
He's gonna
hit.
yell out, "Foiled again!" Okay, it's fine.
You have advantage, so try for the crit.
Oh, shit, yeah. Still a 22.
That is enough to hit it.
That and that. So that's 12 damage.
You also have advantage, so you have sneak attack.
Yep. I get sneak attack anyways. Cause
That's fair, because no one else is on it. Yeah. So how much total damage,
12.
including sneak attack?
Yeah.
Oh.
I rolled D8,
Okay.
3, and I rolled a D6 for 3, and I have +6 to damage.
Gotcha. Okay. So 12. Yay. At the end of your turn, it's going to just swing around with its jagged blade, and chop at you.
Okay.
Although that might be cheating. That's cheating. Never mind. He doesn't do that. But it is his turn, so he will do that anyway. But it's part of his turn, not as one of his special actions. Alright, so he's going to turn on you and chop down at you with the jagged blade.
Okay.
Look out!
Oh, terribly. Again. And then he's going to, so he kind of spins on you with more like speed and dexterity than you would have expected for such a big thing. It kind of just like rolls over itself to chop down at you, and then it folds the other way out and fires its thing again at Grim. That rolls pretty well, but you have the shield, so this hits the shield and bounces off into the ceiling, spins, and then it sucks it back in.
Really don't like that thing.
Its turn is done. Yeah, that would have torn you up, if not for the shield. Shae, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Fly away.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn around
Peace
and
out.
run. No. I am going to. Are the other skeleton things in the room moving or anything
No.
like that?
No.
Okay.
In fact, you notice that like there's a very still calmness to everything in the room except the immediate like light of the area. Almost as if this holy symbol, this relic, is keeping everything at peace while fighting this thing.
Interesting. I'm going to hex the suit, the monster, the boss,
Okay.
and roll for that? No, let's roll for that. And I'm going to choose this as an ability, the strength.
Okay.
That seems useful. And then, as an action, I'm going to Eldritch Blast it. That seems like a good start. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And I completely miss. It's all the shaking because Shae's scared.
Oh, do you only get one roll? I'm sorry. I was waiting for a second. Something. You're just like, ah, it's just. The beam is just tracing out
Yeah.
like puppies and kittens. All right, back to the top with Grim.
Okay. I think I'm kind of left with Morningstar, because I'm down to just a couple spell slots, and I should probably save them. So we will just attack him. Oh, that is only an 11.
That's gonna miss.
Can I still use my War Priest bonus action attack?
Yeah, you can also use that thing that increases your attack by like 10.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to use that thing yet.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Fuck it. I'll use that.
Okay.
No, I won't.
Okay.
I have to save that in case there are undead.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
So only the extra attack.
All right.
This time with a 20, not natural.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And that does 9 piercing.
All right.
That's all I got.
All right. Holy Symbol of Feral. You may bless your allies, or you may attack the offender.
Okay, so the holy symbol itself is from Feral, the god?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the god of protectors, like paladins and other such things.
Okay. Bless.
Okay. Roll me a d6.
1.
Grim again. Grim, you, until the holy symbol goes again, you have a bonus d4 to saving throws, bonus d4 to attack rolls, and a bonus d4 of radiant damage on attacks.
Dang.
Okay.
Cool girl.
Phen.
Then we'll attempt to punk him. I will roll really badly with a 9.
It's not going to do it. It's going to counter your attack with a jagged blade down on you.
Okay.
21.
That'll get me.
Yeah. It rolls very poorly for damage, if that's any help. 7.
Fuck, that's poor.
Yeah. That's rolling all ones on the dice.
Oh, shit.
Huh. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Note he said all ones, not a one.
Yeah.
Now it's its turn. It is going to slash down on Grim. It is going to roll an 18.
Yeah, that'll do it, even
tie,
with the
right?
shield.
Yeah. You don't have shield anymore.
Uh-oh.
You trade. Everything lasts one cycle of the holy symbol.
No, I meant my
with
actual
your shield. I'm sorry, yes. Yeah. 13 damage.
Ouch.
How are you doing on your totals?
That was half what I had left.
Okay. That's what I thought. Alright, let's see here. It's going to, as it kind of has whipped through both of you, it's going to turn and fire the cannon at Shae.
Eep.
Roll very poorly for it again. Sucks it back in.
I'm hiding behind my mole now.
Now it's Shae's turn.
Right. Okay. Yes. I'm going to curse the boss.
You motherfucker.
Sorry. I'll just say something in a Draconic or something. And then I'm gonna peek out behind my mole and shoot another Eldritch Blast at it. At some point I've got to hit, right? That is 23. Yeah, that'll do.
When you speak in Draconic to it, it was kind of in a flurry of motion, like fire at you, swing the blade back around. When you speak in Draconic, its head snaps around towards you and just stares into you.
I put a bit more effort into my blast.
All right. What did you roll?
What was it? A 22, 23 to hit?
That was to hit, right? What's your damage?
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be. Where's my D10? This is a D10. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12. So what's my proficiency? So that's 14. That's 14 damage and 6 necrotic damage.
It appears to take all of that.
Ooh.
Take it all.
And it appears
Bad armor.
It appears to be angry. If it could have looked angrier.
Is it like the first level where it's flashing just a little bit red?
Not quite.
Not quite.
All right,
I yell at it in Draconic to stop resisting.
It fires the thing at you immediately.
Oh god.
Yeah, it rolls pretty well that time. That's an 18.
Yeah.
All right, the harpoon hits into you and like spins and latches into you. It does 5 damage. And then for a brief moment you're like, oh, okay. And then it wrenches you off your feet and drags you up to it.
I'm just shrieking all the way back.
And then when you get up to it, it slashes down at you with the its jagged blade.
Be a hero, Shae!
Rolls the same thing for an 18. And does 15 damage to you.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You don't want to get hit by that. It's not a good one.
She's not shrieking so hard anymore.
Because
More of a
the
whimper?
perforations, the air is leaking out before it.
Yeah. That's bad.
The good news is it can only do that once per cycle. That's
It only needs to do
two
it
legendary actions. That's why I was like, oh, I'm cheating the first time. Grim, what you got going on, buddy?
So, I'm fairly close to it.
I think you're on it, yeah.
Does it seem like I have a chance of just removing that holy symbol?
You'd be hard pressed.
How about removing the entire arm?
You can certainly try to aim for that.
Damn it, I was totally going to back off and do some, throwing little fire shit at it, but now it's got Shae. So we'll just go Morningstar again, but I am definitely going to try to take that arm off. That's the same arm that has Shae, right?
She's not attached to it anymore. When it slashed her, it let go, but yeah.
Okay. So I got a 22 plus I get a D4 is a 25 to hit.
And then your
Which
damage plus a D4 radiant.
Damage, D4. So D8 and D4 plus 2 is 12. 3 of it radiant.
Alright, so 12 total?
12 total.
Any way to juice that?
Unfortunately, no.
Alright. Holy symbol. Your allies are deep in combat. Do you want to protect them, or do you want to attack the offender?
Protect.
Protect?
Yep.
Alright, D6.
6.
Shae, a shimmering blue shield appears around you. You have +5 AC until the holy symbol goes again.
Woohoo!
Phen.
He doesn't have dinner to woo anymore.
Phen's going to notice that Grim is going after the arm. He's going to attempt to do the same. That'll be a 21.
Yep.
And because there's nobody within 5 feet of me, because I want to be opposite of Grim, I get my sneak attack for 10 damage. All slashing. And then I'm going to step back.
Right, okay.
Because he can't attack me.
Right. The thing is bloody, but as you puncture through and slash down, you rend through the armor. The armor kind of like twists open as it tries to like react to like bat you away, and like the core of it kind of rips open, and now there's a great seam, and this kind of shudders and tears through. The harpoon arm actually does fall to the ground, and as the armor kind of rips open, this like dark purple energy swirling within it, almost kind of like tendriling out, like kind of like ghostly, like vapor, leaking, flashes, and there's just this unearthly howl. Everyone needs to make a wisdom saving throw. Grim, you get to add a d4 to this, and Shae, you can make this with advantage.
15 for Phen.
16.
14.
You are all okay. It shakes you to your very core, but you're not frightened. The creature, whose turn it is actually anyway, immediately wheels on Phen and brings the jagged blade crashing down.
Even though I stepped away from him?
Step up to you.
Okay.
Oh wait, because it's engaged with. It is technically big enough to do that, but no, it's going to do it to Grim instead.
Sorry, Grim.
Terribly. And then on Shae. God, it just rolls 13s versus Shae all day long, which is an 18 total.
That's a...
Or more, it's a 20 actually total.
20, okay.
That beats the shield?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because you're a 13, right? So 18 is your...
Yeah.
So either way, it would have... How much HP do you have left?
4.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
You're going to go down.
Not anymore.
Yeah, you take 12 damage.
Splat.
Alright. Shae, make a death saving throw.
It's Constitution, right?
No, it's just a straight.
Just a D10.
Yeah.
Or D20.
Oh, 7.
It's your first fail.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Okay, the Dreadnought's going to use its legendary actions to, Oh, it can't, because you removed that arm. So it's going to use its one remaining legendary action to attack the cleric. Rolls very poorly. Grim.
Okay, I know we just had this discussion, so make sure I understand right. I can cast 2 spells if one of them is a bonus action and the other one is a cantrip.
Yes.
Okay. Since I assume I'm close enough to reach her, I'm going to... Oops, I'm looking at the wrong card. There we go. Reach down and touch Shae and cast Spare the Dying so that she is stabilized. And with my bonus action, I'm going to use my last second level spell and cast Spiritual Weapon and attack motherfucker with a ghostly version of the Morning Star that I hold in my other hand.
Sure. So make an attack when you do that.
Yes, which is an 22 to hit. And he takes 6 plus 6... 12 force damage.
Perfect. Alright, Holy Symbol. You find yourself free of the grip of this evil thing. Some of your power returned to you. You now know somewhat where you are and what your purpose is. You have allies in the area. Do you wish to protect them, attack the evil, or mend wounds?
Mend wounds.
Okay. Roll a d10.
6.
Everyone regains 6 HP.
That
Does
I
that
like.
That puts
stay
Shae
back
up. She was stabilized before, but that puts her back up. So she can stand up and be back in the fight with 6. But Grim, that does mean like your blessing's gone and all that.
Okay.
Which actually should have been gone before when Shae got her bonus, but that's fine. Phen.
Yeah, I don't think I used it on the last one.
No worries.
Sorry, I was muted. I will take a step forward, stabby, and then take a step back.
You put your right hand in, you put your right hand
rapier in with a 25.
Nice.
Because I don't crit on 19s yet. And that'll be 15 points of damage.
Nice.
And then back I go. Can't get me.
The Dreadnought is going to swing wildly at really just whoever. So Grim there. That is a 13. That's not going to do it. Then Grim again. Just a backhanded chop. Rolls a natural 1.
Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Shae, you are on the ground.
Mess him up, Shae.
Fuck him up. From the front to the back. Lex.
So where's the holy symbol?
On the ground on the other side of him.
Okay.
Next to a twitching harpoon hand.
Yeah. Okay. I'm engaged with him, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And prone. And unarmed. And minus any concentration spells that you might have had active.
Right. I am going to Misty Step away.
Okay.
Back to where I came from.
So you go 30 spaces back, still prone.
Yeah. And then from the
What the hell
ground.
just happened to Shae?
Damn.
And then from the ground up, I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast it again.
With ranged attacks, are you at disadvantage to hit from prone?
I don't know.
I feel like you are, because there's not really rules for like firearms and like bracing in this game.
Okay, then I'll take disadvantage on it.
Can't you use an action or your move to get up?
Yeah. You could just stand up if you wanted to.
Yeah. Well, I missed anyway.
Okay. Grim.
I think I will just keep whacking him with the spiritual weapon.
I think that's a bonus action for you.
Yes.
So you can also use your action.
I suppose I could just hit him with the mace too, right? We'll start with the spiritual one.
Okay.
That is a 16 to hit.
That misses.
Damn it. Okay. Regular Morning Star. Oh, natural 20.
That crits.
And I rolled 5 damage.
Okay, so what's your max damage?
10.
So plus 5, so 15. Add another d4 radiant on top of that.
3.
So 18.
Yeah.
It screeches the same kind of unearthly howl, but without the power manifest within it. Alright, holy symbol. Suddenly you feel the world veiled a little bit more, and you feel that something has captured you and is carrying you. Those of you in the fight kind of just notice that the harpoon hand has almost like scorpioned up. The harpoon almost like a tail, and weird metal shiver shape, like splinters and whatnot, jagged edges are walking like an arachnid, and it's carrying the holy symbol towards the rubble on the other side of the wall. Holy symbol, you may protect your allies, or you may attack the offender.
Attack this time.
Okay. You burst into this holy flame, just a column of it's basically the sacred flame spell, but this blue flame, solid tornado column rises up out of you, and just incinerates the arm. It rolled very poorly, and you do caboodles of damage to it.
Nice.
The holy symbol
Yay, holy
slides on the
symbol.
ground amidst what is basically slag of rusted metal. Phen.
Freaked out at the flaming arm, he's going to continue trying to murder the body.
I like that you're just looking sideways going, ah, while cutting into it.
I don't know what's going on. It's stupid whiz popping magic. So Phen, I'd like to do something a little different this time. I want to try to body check the leg while thrusting at the what would be the artery in your thigh.
Okay.
To try to throw him off balance.
Okay.
Now that he's starting to get a little beat up. So I'll roll the attack, and then do you want an acrobatics or an athletics check? We'll figure out if I hit first. 18 to hit.
That does hit. Roll your damage. All your damage total.
12 damage again.
Okay. Now roll a let's do an athletics check.
That'll be a 24. No, pardon me, 22.
You actually do stagger it.
Cool.
It is going to try to stab you on it. It misses because it was staggered. Now it's going to swing at Grim. It is going to miss. It's going to swing at Grim again and hit an 18.
Damn it.
How you doing on health?
Well, I could take 13 again.
Oh, no worries. You only take 9.
Sweet. That's better than 13.
Shae, finish this shit.
Well, you say that.
I do, but I don't know. I really just mean finish the round because you're at the bottom of the.
Right. Let's see. This friendly fire. Close.
The caster checklist. Will I kill my friends? Yes. Let's come back to this one.
Yeah. I'm gonna blast
Put
it
a pin
again.
in that one for now.
Yeah.
You put a pin in it so you can pull that pin later.
Yeah.
We're not that much in trouble yet.
I'm just gonna get up and blast it. 16.
That is a miss.
Okay.
Granted, don't forget, guys, in the future, I do allow the rule where if you miss by 1, you can try to convince me of a cool reason why you didn't miss by 1. So, keep that in mind. Grim?
So, holy symbol is
On the
several
ground.
feet away.
Yeah,
on the
about
ground.
20 to 30 feet away from you.
Smoldering.
Actually, just kind of looking gleamy and nice.
Just the pile of shit around it is smoldering.
Yeah, but like a nice foot around it. Like it's clean. Its little circle.
I am going to disengage for my action.
Okay.
Use my movement to run over and pick that motherfucker up, and use my bonus action to spiritual weapon him in the face again.
Do it.
Shit. It's only a 16.
Same rule applies.
Oh, is it missed by 1?
Except you're holding the holy symbol, so it is not
I
a
am
miss.
holding the holy symbol.
Tell me how you want to do this.
I actually want to turn, as soon as I pick up the holy symbol, I want to do like the I just scored a goal in the World Cup kind of slide on my knees and
Yeah.
scoop up the holy symbol, and I want to turn around and make the motions that I'm going to throw my spiritual axe, but it being 30 feet away from me just makes the motion itself and spins through his head.
And just cleaves it open. Just
Splat.
wrenching metal
Nice.
tears open, and this black purple ether just shreds apart. With just a terrible. It's like the worst screeching of machinery and rust and like tortured children ever. Just and it just collapses in a heap of smoldering slag, just useless metal and dust.
And I taste the holy symbol.
It tastes like victory.
I bet that's magic, Grim. I bet that's
You
magic.
detect no magic whatsoever. No, yeah, it's very magical.
Tastes like chicken.
Chicken. Oh, yeah, you better give it to me then.
Holy symbol, you feel yourself in the hands
Bingo.
of one of the faithful. But you would very much like to go home now.
Yeah.
What do you guys do?
Well, we have the key. Let's go fit it in the lock and see what happens.
There's nothing else down here, right? Like,
No.
there's nothing behind him.
That just happened to be our last door. Go figure.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, lucky, really.
Totally legit.
I'm going to say, okay, I'll
It's
be
really
right
very funny that that's how that worked out, but that really is how that worked out. Like, that's legit to the map, exactly how you did it. By if you had gone right instead, the right-hand rule, would have inversed that.
first. That's funny. So I'm going to rifle through the scraps of metal looking for anything.
It is
I'll be right up.
hot and sharp to the touch, and there is nothing. It's like, as you're like looking at it, it's like almost like playing with like very like wet kinetic sand.
Oh.
Like it's just it is disintegrating but not disintegrating. It's just useless slag. There's nothing.
Oh. Okay.
This is something that was meant to kill people and not be looted.
Got it.
You guys want to try and rest a little bit?
See what we can do when we put our minds to it?
I think we should rest at the altar.
Or I could take, if we got 10 minutes, I could just heal us up a little bit. I have 1 second level spell slot left, I believe. Oh,
good.
shit. No, I don't. Never mind. I only have a
pretty
first level spell slot left.
You do what you got to do, but I'm good.
Well.
Well, if you don't feel the
I'm
need
okay.
to do anything immediately, you can certainly head to the altar. You've pretty thoroughly cleared out this place.
All right,
And
let's head to
with
the
the holy
altar.
symbol in your hand, you do have this sense of kind of calm. Its light seems to illuminate everything in here, even though it shouldn't be. Like it doesn't work the same way like a torch would. It's not casting shadows quite properly, but it kind of casts like shadows, but not really. But you feel like it's casting like a pall over everything.
This thing is definitely magical, you guys. Let's go see what happens at the altar.
Right.
I
So
like that idea.
when you get to the altar, you see the same shape indent in it as the holy symbol.
I place it in the hole.
Okay, you place it in incorrectly at first, and then you shift it, and you get the right shape in the right hole. No, right in, and as soon as you do,
This is embarrassing. A little help, please.
these scorch marks that were around it in the first place, that almost looked like kind of lightning arced out of it and like cut through it, almost like when you know how you can burn wood with electricity. Almost looked like that kind of out of it. That like dissipates into a dust. All the cracks in the stone repair immediately, and out from the symbol, these like filigreed patterns of like platinum just trace all through the bigger holy symbol that is the altar. As soon as you do, you are aware of three major effects. One,
No more mummy rot.
you are all cured of all diseases, poisons, and curses.
Yes!
Two,
Awesome.
you are immediately subjected to the heal spell, which is 70 HP.
Woo!
Healed. The last effect is the entire fortress is targeted by the hallowed spell. And you feel a calmness settle throughout the entire place. The air becomes fresher. All of the impending kind of darkness and whatnot goes away. All the torches light with a subtle, like, nice bluish white flame.
This place
Nice.
isn't so bad.
Yeah.
See? Now Shae's got an awesome headquarters. And
Well, a sacred
faced
burial
some
site
fears.
of, some people, but yeah.
Right, let's close off burial chamber so nobody ever goes in there again.
That's fine.
Just leave those guys where they are.
They did their time.
Yeah, all the enchantments seem to go back in place over the doors and whatnot.
Can we just rest now?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. You wake up. And unless there's more you want to do here, it is time to head back to Baytown? Question mark?
Yeah, that sounds good.
If we can find our way.
We'll be fine.
That's fair.
We manage this, we'll manage that.
Okay. As you leave the ruins, give me a survival check.
Survival.
14 for Phen.
13.
0.
Shit.
I love the 0 survival check. It takes you a while, but you finally get on the right track to where the Briarwood is starting to thin out a little bit, and eventually you find the road pretty far to the south of Baytown. So you're like between Durnhost border and Baytown. So if you travel north, you'll eventually get there. You think you probably need to walk along the road for a couple hours, and you'll be there probably in time. Excuse me, in time for well, it'll be past dinner, but
Late dinner?
late dinner slash various revelry. Kind of the 9 or 10 o'clock crowd.
Do you guys think we should, like, register with a post office or something?
What's a post office?
Let's register.
So I guess that's a
So
question.
really-
When you left, did you want to try to seal the entrances?
Guys, I'm not sure we should try to set up camp here. Like headquarters or anything. If this is a sacred burial ground, we really don't want to be building our offices on top, right?
True. But, like, we're not even there anymore. We're in the middle of a road. Who says we're ever going to find it again?
I'm just thinking we should probably should have sealed those entrances, even if it means, like, collapsing a wall. The last thing we want is somebody going in there, pissing off the dead, and sending hundreds of skeletons up the road.
I don't think that is it. As long as the thing is in place, that's not even possible, right?
You think we're good?
I think we're good.
All right,
You
then.
guys are the magic ones. So I'm just along for the ride.
I want to think we're good.
Okay. I think we're good too then. Let's go.
Alright. Is everybody back?
Yep.
Duh.
Alright. You arrive in Baytown. The you being Meidrax, the Dragonborn. Or Girardi in this case. Because why not call them something else to confuse everyone?
Okay.
You have come down the road from Brunn, one of the kind of major outlying towns of Darum, the Great Walled city. Having come originally from your character's from Osun, right? Osun?
Yeah.
The desert lands to the east. So having come to Darum to ply your trade, work with guild contacts there with the Jewelers Guild in Darum. You did I already give you a name of who you were working with?
No.
Okay, so you were working with mostly Labara, which is a guild house under the noble house Bannock. So
What was it? Bannock?
so the noble house is Bannock, Bannick. The guild house that you are allied to is Labara, Lebarra.
Okay.
They're one of the 6 guild houses for the Jewelers Guild. They have an outlying house in Brunn.
Okay.
So you were plying your trade there. You probably stayed for a while on your doing various research. You wanted to try to make enough contacts, kind of get enough credibility, maybe get yourself a proper passport in order to pass through the Seraphine Wall, which is the massive like Attack on Titan wall that circles almost the entirety of the country of Darum.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, it's fucking huge. It's imagine like the Great Wall of China, essentially, but more impressive. But only because also fantasy. Or no, I forgot you're into this. Bossing Se.
Okay.
Except massive. I mean, we're talking country, not big city, but country. And eventually I can show you how much of the map it really takes up. But if you kind of cut Darum in half, and use Seraphis as the center of kind of like a circle on the upper left half, that entire thing is a walled city.
Damn.
It's like the size of, other countries. Anyway, and then inside that it has other walls and whatnot, and other districts and other cities, because obviously you can travel for weeks within that, and whatnot. But they have a rail system and all that sort of thing, airships, etc., to get around. But in Seraphis itself is the Seraphine Cathedral, which is essentially the Vatican of the Celestium, right? So the holiest cathedral of the pantheon of so the Celestium being the 26 gods,
Yeah.
and then above them are the 6 creator gods: Gaima, Geld, etc., etc. So the chapel or the cathedral itself, you've heard, is so large that the 26 spires around it would be massive cathedrals in and of themselves, and then like the cathedral city built around it is like this pristine, beautiful, because no one really lives there except the priests and other clergy and whatnot. And then they open it to pilgrimages at certain times, but only to certain places and whatnot. So you've heard it's this amazing place that's filled with like every possible record of anything you would ever want to know about religion and the pantheon and all that sort of stuff. Great scholarly learning places, etc. So you really want to go there.
Yeah.
But there was a little accident, and just about a week and a half ago, there was a minor fire in a shop where you happen to be at the same time. This probably wouldn't have been a problem, except for some reason on the same night, the guards seem to have been very busy with something else, including what seemed to be a very large fire across the city in the artisan district. So you kind of just decided maybe try back a little later, right? And so you just left the city, traveling by foot as your people are known to do. Traveling this main road from Brune to Baytown, which is the main trade route, although it's not really the trading season. This will allow you to divert south to Dernhost, north to Altara, or you can cross the lake to go to Altara as well, or Kasan. Kasan through Altara, not directly. Anyway, you stopped, at all they have like traveling camps, or like I had a good name for it earlier, but basically they're like encampments of people traveling the road. So like maybe not every night, but certainly like every once in a while, maybe like every 2 nights, you'd come to what was essentially an established like campground where various caravans and other travelers would be able to stop, be protected under each other's auspices and whatnot. And actually, these traveler camps are run by the Innkeepers Guild. So this is a plan that was put forward a couple years ago by House Dargan. They work with the Mercenaries Guild and the Teamsters Guild in order to kind of establish these places of respite, right? So they're not towns, but they're places where if you can make it to this point, you'll have guards and enough people that you can rest safely without fear of bandits. And this is actually, for the rest of the group, this is why you did not travel on the main road, was to avoid this. So you used that for safety, Meidrax, and I'm sorry, is it Meidrax or Meidrax?
Meidrax.
Okay, that's what I thought. So you use that to mainly protect yourself, travel inconspicuously and whatnot, and you find yourself at Baytown. I don't know if I have a map of Baytown anymore digitally. Does anyone have that quickly available? The little map of Baytown?
Take a look.
I think I do. Just a second.
I think I might have deleted my digital version. I have the other, but... So you're arriving at Baytown probably around like 6 in the evening, just before supper time.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't have this.
I don't. I thought I did.
I don't have it either.
It's okay. It's okay. What kind of city does it look like?
So it's a fairly small town, actually. It's well, I'm describing this. I'm going to work on taking a picture for you, but basically, as you enter from the east, you start to see kind of farms here and there.
Do I see anyone working the field this late?
No, you do not.
No? Okay.
And there's a couple houses closer to the road. They're fairly modest little like townhouses. They're not slummy or dirty like poor, but they're not mansions or anything by a long shot. Sending you the map now. I sent it in text though. That may not have been the best way to do it. I apologize.
That's alright.
But just beyond those kind of houses that are closer to the road, you start to get towards the city center or the town center. On your right are two large buildings. One that's 3 stories tall and one that's just more like a big open kind of thing. So the smaller one, the closer one, is a big stables, and the taller one looks kind of like it's got like a New Orleans kind of Victorian Southern porch and then big windows up top kind of feel to it. That's got a sign that calls it the Half Harbor Rest House. That's number 2 when you if that comes up for you.
Yeah, we got it.
All right, so number 2 is the Half Harbor Rest House. It's also like a trading post. And depending on what kind of stuff you decide to explore, that's a kind of an upscale, really nice inside, like made to impress traveling merchants on the way through, but also with room enough to kind of put other travelers who have the coin to stay in good rooms without so much of the pomp and circumstance. Or you can also buy space under like the eaves and the barn and whatnot. Number 7 is a big for this town certainly, and your guess is that the reason why some of these things are so oversized is because when this place is busy, it is the most major crossroad between the 3 nations. Without going further into Jerusalem, into the city, so it's actually kind of surprising this isn't more built up to reflect that. But you have a feeling that because of the wars that have kind of happened over the years, that maybe that has led to this not getting built up further. So number 7 is a big church with a big tower to the side of it, and a big cemetery down below it. Number 4 is kind of an artisan block. That's where like there's a tanner and a forge and a smithy and all that. So you hear the various sounds of people working on horseshoes or whatever else. 5 is the dockmasters area. So that's where they handle all the ledgers and the manifest for the ships. It's also got a big beacon tower that flashes out towards the sea. This is also where the Navy houses its personnel. They have 2 big ships out in the harbor. There's also one big merchant ship out there, and then one other ship that you can't really tell what its deal is from where you are. At the center of the crossroads is a giant, giant ancient white oak tree. Number 6 is the Brass and Barley. That's a tavern. It looks to be 2 stories tall, a little bit more. It's very large, but it seems a little bit more modest in its appearance. And that's pretty much it. The only other big feature, and this is something you would have noticed as you were traveling down the road, and you probably would have started to hear rumors of it, that big bramble of stuff down to the south is the Briarwood. And you've listened to the other sessions, so you know what that is. So I'm not going to describe that to you, unless you have questions that you have for me. But
No, I'm good.
okay. So what would you like to do?
First, I'm gonna head to the temple.
Okay.
And how many people are on the street?
There's a couple people on like the porch of the Half Harbor. Just they look relatively well dressed. They're smoking pipes and talking to each other. You're guessing maybe traveling merchants on their way through. You see a couple people moving around on the kind of the dock area way past, and a couple people passing on the cross street. But there's not a lot out.
Okay. I hit the temple first, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
On your left.
Yeah. So I will go in there and walk around, pay my respects, and then of course look for an altar to Geld.
There is not one. There are 26 alcoves, one for each of the Celestium gods.
I hump and kind of swat the floor with my tail and then walk out.
Okay, while you were in there, you did see that there were a couple, it looked like maybe peasants. So it's a big open area, and then the 26 alcoves on the side, and various artwork and whatnot. The symbol of the Celestium is up there, and the symbol of Celestium carved into the far wall did have the symbols of the greater gods, but there was no altar to them, to the major gods. But that's part of the Celestium symbol.
Okay, well, I will give a small prayer and especially asking for guidance and help on my quest.
Sure.
And then I reckon I will leave and head toward what was it called? The Half Harbor?
The Half Harbor Rest House, yeah, is the inn across the street.
I will check that out then.
Okay, so when you enter, it's pretty.
Well, you said there were people on the porch, right?
There are two men in decent dress smoking. One looks to be fairly road weathered, but still well dressed and kind of an air about him. The other seems a little bit younger, not quite as road. His skin isn't as darkened by the sun. He's just dressed in more kind of a noble merchant fashion.
Okay. I will approach them and say, "Hello, my name is Meidrax Nexmanus. I am a member of the Jewelers Guild, traveling and looking for work as a jewel cutter and jewelry crafter.
Okay.
If you have any, it's fine. If you have any work, please send it my way. Or if you know of anyone that wishes to have gems cut or jewelry fashion, to seek me out.
So when they first see you approach, they're kind of taken aback because, first of all, Girardi are fairly rare. Second, you're a fairly unique-looking Girardi.
Oh yeah, he squints really bad because of the low wisdom. He has terrible eyesight.
So so they kind of look at you for a moment, and then they say, oh, yes, my good man. You must be here about the stone. Jolly good.
I am not. What stone are you talking about?
Oh, well, it's been all the buzz. And actually, probably on the road, you maybe heard of, this is the first you've heard of a stone or the stone. But on the road, you definitely heard, a little bit of, chatter about, some rare ore or some special gem or like a wealthy prince transporting this great treasure that was dug up. And the older man says, who's been talking to you, says, "Why, sir, they found a wondrous piece of ore in the ground not 3 days ago. Say it fell from the stars. Can you believe that?"
No.
He said, well, yes, I believe the farmers who found it here arranged some merchants who were traveling through the area to sell the item off in Darum. I imagine it fetched quite the hefty sum. I would think, and he kind of adjusts his spectacles, and he says, "I would think a jeweler of your repute would be here about such an item."
No, I'm looking for gold, work to make that gold, so that I can cross to Altara.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry. I myself and this fine gentleman are on our way east, and I don't quite know of any work to be had here. I know that the artisans area mainly does repair work on caravans and whatnot, but perhaps they are looking for a merchant of your caliber.
I'm sure someone is, and I leave them and walk inside.
Oh, I see. As you enter, you see that this is a very well appointed inn. You're kind of surprised for where it is. You have a feeling that probably as money came through this place, the Innkeepers Guild or whoever else put a lot of money into making this nice so that merchants would want to stay here. It's all like dark woods and plush tapestry and velvet and niceties, lanterns instead of open flames, no just candles around, all very nice. This entry space is 2 stories tall, letting a lot of what would be natural light in during the day. There's a sitting room kind of off to the side, and then another kind of like study area. Various people are sitting down. There's most of the people sitting in here appear to be fairly well dressed. You kind of get that like Victorian sitting room type vibe. There's like a woman drinking tea, but she's conversing with 2 men. Their hats by their side, canes leaning up against them. They're in fairly nice dress. You would think that they were in in a city getting ready to go see a performance or something to that effect. There is a young female gnome in kind of a servant's outfit moving around. She there doesn't seem to be food or drink served in this place. However, some people do seem to be eating or drinking here, but there's no kitchen or dining area. You imagine that probably orders are taken from the Brass and Barley and brought here for those who are not willing to make the trek across the 150 feet or whatever of street.
Yeah.
And then there's a middle-aged man behind the counter.
Okay. I go over to him. Hello.
Hello, sir.
I'm looking for a room. How much is one here?
Well, we have everything from suites to single rooms if you're just staying a night and aren't looking for much. We can give you anything in the realm of he kind of looks you up and down and says 3 gold for a traveler's suite. You get the impression that's probably not the least costly.
Bro, he actually doesn't. He's really poor.
That's fair. That's just for the rest of the group. That's what his mannerisms are. That's how George is playing him. He's got that. And actually, I don't know if you want to take a minute to kind of describe Meidrax for everyone.
Well, I was gonna wait until they were
until they met him.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
He'll say to the innkeeper, "Is there no cheaper room?"
Well, I can do one of the single small rooms if you don't mind sharing facilities.
Who would I share it with?
The other half of that floor. Other travelers like yourself. Those willing to pay a gold.
How much to stay in the stable?
He kind of rubs at his face a little bit and says, if you want to sleep under the eaves, it's 5 copper. If you want to sleep in one of the what are they called? Paddocks? Whatever. That's 2 silver.
He puts down a gold and says, "The eaves will do."
Okay. He kind of looks at you strangely and pulls the coin to the side and says, "Petunia," and the little gnome kind of stops in her tracks and kind of squeaks and looks up. And then she squeaks again when she looks up further to see the Dragonborn. And she kind of stares up at you wide-eyed. And the man says, "Please show Mr." I'm sorry, sir, your name?
Meidrax, where's my change?
He pushes the coins across the
Oh, is it 5 copper?
5 copper.
Okay, so it's a bunch of silver and copper.
He pushes the coins across, and says, "Petunia, please show Mr. Meidrax, to the cots under the eaves, please." And she nods and kind of curtsies to you, and then leads you kind of out the back through like a servant's entrance out to the side of the barn, and you see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will leave the innkeeper a copper.
Okay.
Though, as a tip.
He'll nod at you and say, "Pleasant stay, sir."
I hope so too. Should I be worried?
Never, sir. Fine town. And as you follow Petunia out, you see that the eaves are actually very well sheltered. It's actually like basically a full room. It'd be like a Florida room, you know.
Uh-huh.
or like a little sunroom, essentially. Very high walls, no glass, anything, but very high walls. So there's a breeze, but not a draft. And there appear to be about 8 cots set up kind of here, and then another 8 on the other side of the barn.
Okay.
And she points and says, taken, and she points to the far side, where you see kind of the blankets have been moved and arranged. And she says, so you have your choice of anything else. She has kind of a high-pitched, kind of squeaky voice, almost like she's a little bit nervous, but...
Where do I get food and drink?
She says, we can have food brought to you from the Brass and Barley, or if you would rather. It's quite a nice place. In fact, my best friend is the serving girl there. Her name is Mirabelle, and she's really nice, and she'll get you whatever food and drink you want while you're there. And the prices are really good, and the bartender is a very good bartender, and I'm sure you'll very much enjoy it.
What was their name?
The serving girl.
Friend.
The serving girl, the friend, is Mirabelle.
Okay. And what was the serving girl's name?
Oh, I'm sorry. So the little gnome you're talking to is Petunia, and then the serving girl at the Brass and Barley is Mirabelle.
Okay. Okay. I don't really have anything to put off. I'll take, you said it's like a cot, right?
Yeah, and there's blankets and whatnot at like the foot of the bed. So you have like a full, everything you would need are all like spaced out properly on the bed, and to claim your bed, you basically like quote unquote make it, right? And you put your stuff, so you don't have to leave anything there. You just kind of like spread the bed out, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'll just put my take my backpack off and put it with under the blankets and whatnot. Grab my weapons and whatnot and my coin purse and head to the tavern.
Okay.
Brass and Barley.
On your
And I give Petunia a copper tip.
She her eyes get wide and she looks at it in both her hands and she smiles up at you and she has a giant gnomish smile and she says, "Thank you very much." And she kind of like skip steps off into the barn.
As she does, I mumble. I thought I was supposed to tip.
As you're walking across past the giant oak tree, which is massive. It's like what did we say? Like 10 feet to the lowest branch, or something like that.
Yeah.
Just towers up, this big white oak that just is taller than any of the buildings, just branches out over them, probably what the little town was built up around. And it's right at the center of the crossroads. You see there are 2 men dressed in navy uniforms standing kind of near the dock house. One is smoking a pipe, and the other is just kind of they're lazily talking about something. Then leaning.
I will approach them and give them the same, "Hi, I'm Meidrax. I'm a member of the Jewelers Guild. I'm here looking for work as a jewel cutter and jewelry crafter or gem cutter, and all that." He's just selling himself to basically every person he passes by.
All right. The 2 sailors kind of look at you and they kind of go, "Sorry, no need for a jeweler myself." And he kind of like elbows at the other. So he's probably like in his mid-30s. The other one is probably like 17 or 18, and he goes, "What about you, Samuel? You got some pretty thing you need to put a ring on?" And the kid blushes and says, Nah, Sarge, nothing like that. No. He said, sorry, Mr. Meidrax, was it?
Meidrax.
Meidrax, right. No, I don't think I can afford any fancy jewelry.
Oh, Meidrax is walking away. They already gave him his answer.
Yeah. You're probably too far away to hear it. Excuse me. But one of them goes, weird people. As you approach the brass and barley, you see kind of leaning up his back up against the corner of the building. He's got he kind of has like an old gunslinger kind of feel to him. Like long coat, scruffy, kind of slight beard.
Okay. I will approach him and give him the same spiel.
He kind of stops you halfway through. He's like, no, Meidrax. I'm Jaras. I'm the constable here. I'm sure Roken or someone else has some work for you, if you're willing to get your hands dirty. You go see them in the forge and the other artisans. Probably tomorrow, though. He kind of looks up because it's a little dark out. He says, get yourself some supper tonight. But I don't have any work for you. I am sorry about that. But as long as you don't cause any trouble, you and I are going to be friends. And he kind of like lights a cigarette, or whatever the equivalent of a cigarette is.
I cannot guarantee we will be friends.
He looks at you and he says, just make sure you don't cause no trouble.
It is not something I can always control. Sometimes things happen that are beyond my control. They are the will of Geld.
He tips his hat up and says, you planning to stay in town long?
Until I can make enough coin to buy a boat and find a captain.
Well, he kind of, it's not like a smirk or it's not a sneer because there's no like malice behind it, but like it's kind of like a half a sneer, half a smirk. And he says, "Well, I hope Roken has work for you."
Roken?
He says, "Aye, the dwarf that runs the smithy." Rokken.
KK. Okay. Thank you, Jaras. And I walk away.
He nods.
Into the brass and barley.
As like right as you're about to like you're stepping past him and before you go in the door, he just says, "Have yourself an ale. I think it'll help you out, son."
Okay.
I think there's gonna be a lot of people in this adventure who are suggesting ways for Meidrax to like mellow.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I'll go in. How much is an ale?
Shit, I lost my little menu. I want to say it's like 2 copper.
Okay.
For like the local stuff.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut away from you for a moment. If you, oh, sorry, go ahead.
How much is like a plate of food?
I think plate of food plus ale is.
When the plate of food is mostly meat.
Let's say your other, like, let's say 2 silver will cover you for pretty much all of supper and a couple rounds.
Okay.
I'm really bad with food in this game. I don't know why. I had a little menu that I wrote up, but I don't know what happened to it.
I will pay
I never know what's
2
fair.
silver and a copper for the tip.
All right. Do you sit at the bar or like one of the booths? Or the
No,
table?
I walk. Once I'm done eating, I will walk around and give the spiel to everyone in there.
Okay. Well, when you first walk in, though, do you just walk up straight to the bar to order your food and all that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to see where you are. All right. We're gonna cut away from you for a moment, and the rest of the party. By this time, you're basically just dragging your bags like behind you. Like I imagine that like Phen is just kind of like walking, unless Phen is the kind of person like after a little while where he's just like fuck everything and dragging his shit, whatever. But I imagine Shae is like has the like barest grip on like the edge of like one strap of her backpack, like in two fingers, and just dragging it behind her as lazily as possible. Because she's fed up. I don't know why, but that's how I see this.
It's a heroic lazy, though.
But you see the silhouette of the oak tree and the lights of town up ahead.
Oh my God, we walked so far.
Do you guys remember, do we have rooms somewhere?
I don't know.
I don't care. I'm just gonna sleep for the rest of the week.
You think they'd care if we just curled up at the bottom of that big tree and took a nap?
Didn't we save a kid? Shae
think
saved
so.
a kid, right?
Oh God, where's the
It's
hero
fine.
meter?
It's fine. I get to be the little spoon.
I almost forgot to get out the hero meter. There it is.
You should post a picture of the hero meter, like, as a thumbnail.
I need
the
to
map?
make one that's like a little thermometer or whatever.
Yeah. And put like put a clip of it overlaying the map of Terra for the YouTube videos. Shae's hero meter.
Or just every time she does something awesome, it just goes bloop a little bit and then disappears.
If she klutzes somewhere, bloop, it goes down.
You just hear the sound of like things crashing in the kitchen and like that one like lone bowl, you know, those big silver bowls that just go like
Yeah.
just make sounds forever, and then just bloop bloop bloop. As the hero meter drops.
I think this needs to happen.
I don't have that kind of time, man.
Dude, get
Maybe one of our subscribers will do it.
get Solus to do it.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. That's fine.
Hey, just tell him it's worth like an extra 150 XP for him.
That's fair. I will help you go up to 8 if you guys do this for me. All right. What do you guys do?
We're looking for a place to sleep.
Well, your bellies are also rumbling.
I could wait till breakfast for food, but are you guys hungry?
Always.
I suppose we should stop and get dinner and then go to sleep.
You
Yeah.
did sleep like 4 hours ago.
Yeah.
But then we walked for 4 hours.
And
Yeah.
we walked for 4 hours. This bag, it ain't carrying itself.
The shield weighs as much as you do, yeah.
Maybe we'll feel better with a little mutton and a little beer in our bellies.
Probably.
Weren't those like short rests that we took?
You took
I
a
think-
real rest at the end. You guys are fully refreshed, and you also have half of whatever you half of your max. What level are you guys? You're 4.
Yep.
So you
Yeah.
get 2 of your hit die back. All right, so you enter the Brass and Barley. You see Roken has a giant, like, what you think is a turkey leg. He's kind of gnawing on that, and he's got his big ale stein. He's sitting at a table over away from the bar. You see Mirabelle slinging drinks and whatnot. A quick glance up to the top left, you see the 2 Dernhost soldiers are drinking alone up there. On the right, you see what look like middle-class merchants. They're not dressed like peasants, but they're not dressed nice. They could just be maybe they're peddling their wares, maybe they're just part of a caravan, you don't know. The bulk of the crowd, and it's not huge, but there's a decent crowd, is sailors, what you would guess are caravan people and travelers, and caravan guards. You see a Gerati, but not the same Gerati you saw the other night. This Gerati actually looks a little bit different than most Gerati you've ever seen. Has some frills and a big frill on his tail. Some greenish coloring along the kind of coppery skin, and wearing robes. Whereas the other one was clearly like a caravan guard in like armor. So you're like, oh, there are more than one of them. That's cool. There are also kind of near the back corner 2 elves with darkish skin, not like black like drow, but like kind of like a twilight blue.
Water elves.
Moon elves.
Moon elves? The hell's a moon elf?
The opposite of a sun elf.
When they stand up and walk away, you'll find out.
Whatever.
It's nighttime. All elves are moon elves at night. No, that's not true.
It's like saying all halflings are moon halflings at night. Phen says that out loud.
Where do you think the
your
assless
quarterlings
chaps were
when you're
born?
sitting down? Why is this hard? Why do people not get this?
Hey, don't make fun of me.
I love Phen. Not as much as like Aaron, but that's a hard sell. I actually forgot about Aaron until today, and I had a brief moment, and I was like, well, that needs to come back. At least if anything ever happens to Shae, you're good to go.
That's true.
All right.
Mirabelle, I'm so hungry.
You just collapse in the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
It just looks like a shield fell over. Like someone just dropped a shield. Because I don't know if you showed me a picture of it. I just imagine it looks like Link's shield from Zelda. Essentially, just lying there.
Hold on, I got you.
Like it's kind of colorful and whatnot, but I don't know if that's true. So obviously, Meidrax, you see all of this happen. Mirabelle goes, "Oh, darlings, why didn't you tell me you were here? Come, get up. And she kind of scoops you up and puts you in a chair. Way stronger than you would have guessed.
Yeah, Phen's like full on just.
She just puts you in a chair. She says, "Come on," and all of a sudden she has like drinks and food. You don't know where they came from, and she says, "Eat up. Y'all need your strength."
Phen is like face in the food, just shoving food.
And this has clearly garnered some attention from people around. But then there's kind of the whole like, oh, okay, well, locals or, whatever else. Okay. Obviously everyone drinks here. And they kind of go back to their business. But you do get the occasional odd stare. I mean, you're not exactly a normal... Well, one of you is a human, but, you're not exactly the most normal group. You don't look like peasants or farmers. One of you does stand out pretty substantially from most other people.
I'm finished with my food right by this point.
Or you're pretty much like, I don't know how Meidrax eats, but this would be the point where like some people would be like scraping, especially if you were really hungry, you'd be like secretly scraping the bowl because it was really delicious.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you kind of like look out the corner and you see this happening, like as you're like placing your clean plate to the side.
I'm sure with like pork in between my teeth and stuff, get up and walk over to them and introduce myself. I am Meidrax Nexmonus of the guild, the Jewelers Guild. I am a proficient gem cutter and jewelry crafter. Should you need my expertise, I will be in town for a few days.
Phen reaches into his pocket with one hand, still eating. And he pulls out 2 gems. One worth 20 and one worth 50. An emerald and a sapphire.
So a small sapphire, or small emerald and a larger sapphire.
Okay.
Shae, you do not recognize Meidrax. Sorry, did Meidrax give his guild house, or just that he's a member of the Jewelers Guild?
Oh, I guess I didn't have that at the beginning. I would give my guild house of Bannock.
You would probably introduce yourself as Labara. Bannock would be super pretentious and quasi unnecessary.
Okay.
Like even for Meidrax, it would be like too much.
Oh yeah, he tries to act fancier than he is.
But I mean, I think even for him, it would probably be because Bannock doesn't oversee the. You would answer to Labara because you're not even like you're not a family member. You're not like because you're a foreign merchant who joined the guild but is allied to this house. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So you probably don't know about all like the various family intrigue and all that. Shae, Bannock.
I don't even know what family looks like.
Yeah. So Bannock is not an enemy house, but they are not an allied house. They are of because you do know of the higher thing, so you're not worried about it from a Bannock point of view. You don't think he's here for you or anything like that. Labara does have plenty of dealings with Zoleri. But Zoleri, obviously being the head of the Jewelers Guild, you generally would know any power player. So you think he is just I don't mean this offense, but just a guild merchant or a guild craftsman.
Right. What brings you to this town here? These parts?
Okay. I say I am searching for information about strange gifts that were given to me. And to do so, I need to reach the saints of Altara, and to do that, I must ply my craft and collect coin to buy a boat and to find a captain.
Phen starts shaking the gems in his face.
How much are they worth?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That was impressive.
20 and 50.
Oh, okay. So I just
Which Phen didn't. I mean, I told you guys that because it's just easier for me not to be like, no, you don't know what they're worth.
Oh yeah.
But no, you know immediately. You're like But the other thing, Shae also knows that, so that hasn't really been a problem.
I once had to spend 2 hours going through gems that they had collected, which I didn't give a monetary value for they collected them.
I stopped doing that pretty fast. I didn't tell them. I just said sapphire right next to it 5, and then like that. But I mean that's obvious too. So at the end of the day, I realized it's not really worth it to like hide most of this shit. I did find the priest's name. Exciting. Okay, so
We're all over the place here.
Hey, I got it. I got you.
All right, so I'll tell them what the gems are worth.
Do you like go above and beyond where like you get out your little monocle and like adjust the lens and or do you just do it like no, this is what these are worth?
Oh no, I go overboard. I sit down. I pull out the monocle.
You like scratch at it.
Yeah.
He rolls out the kit.
Candle.
Do you taste it?
No, I don't.
He looks up over you at the lens, so it goes from giant eye to little eye. That's not part
This guy's no jeweler.
So, are they? Are the gems already well cut and everything?
Yeah, no, these are trade-ready gems.
Oh, okay. Is there anything else I can do for you, sir? Or what was your name?
Phen.
Dan.
No, I'm good. He puts them back in. Looks over at Grimm's plate. Hey, you gonna finish that?
Oh yeah.
So you guys do have the ornate dagger that does have some gems in it, but that may not be of importance for this right now. Um, the notion of the looking for strange gifts, especially with like the Saints of Altara, would probably interest Grimm a little bit, especially because you're another traveler from the east, although you're from way further out. But Just little tidbits. I know it's been a while since we played, so I don't want to overstep my DM bounds, but I want to make sure that little bits and pieces are picked up by those who may care.
Does Grim proudly wear his holy symbol?
Oh, very much so.
And his goddess is Valryrie, the goddess of warriors.
Yeah.
And this gravy is good.
It is good.
What do the three of you do here?
Well, here I eat.
Oh my god! The cat came in to console me. The moment I heard her jump off something, run across the house, and I just feel a little paw at the back, on like my lower back, just go, "Are you okay?" That got me.
Fair enough. What do you do in this town?
Well, we saved a kid. That was cool. Well, Shae over here saved a kid.
Mirabelle comes by with the next round of drinks. She says, "These three," and she kind of tweaks Phen's cheek a little bit, "are the local heroes. Brave adventurers."
Hear that, Shae?
You're too kind.
You're a hero, Shae. We did it.
Woo! Speaking of which, what did you guys find? Find any traces of the Fairy Queen? Is she real? Did you meet her?
Well, we found a really scary, castle.
I suppose that mummy could have been a fairy queen 1,000 years ago.
You hear from the bar, "Called it!"
Called it.
She takes the clean mugs and slams them down on her tray and turns back and says, "Tarn, you stay out of this."
We're not done yet. We'll find her. I believe.
So they weren't fairies. They were mummies?
Well, there was something out there. Besides the mummy, there was something out there.
After what we saw, I have no doubt fairies are probably also real.
Yeah, fairies are a thing. Gotta be.
Can I roll an Arcana check to know anything about fairies or mummies?
Arcana for fairies, religion for mummies.
Alright, I got a 21 for Arcana on fairies. And a 7 for mummies.
You're like, mummies? Psh. But
mummies are only in sarcophaguses. They don't do anything.
In the desert, clearly, where you're from.
Bite you.
You don't think they're here. You think they're where you're from. But you're like, yeah, fairies are obviously real. Like, the elves are their descendants and their cousins. And you point off the corner. You're like, "There's two over there." And Mirabelle's like, "Fairies?" And you're like, "No, elves." And then, yeah, you know all sorts about the spirit world, and you could do a history check to see what you know about the history of spirits and the interaction of that. But as far as fairies are concerned, yeah, fairies are real. They definitely inhabit the deep woods, and towns. There's probably some who live nearby who do little shit here and there, steal sugar, stuff like that.
While I do not believe you fought a mummy, which is an inanimate object essentially, there are fairies deep within the woods, and possibly even the woods here, near this town.
This party's gonna do real well. I can see it.
Well,
What did we fight? It wasn't as
it was a mummy. Had to have been a mummy. You don't just like wrap things in bandages.
This area of the world.
No. Please let the expert explain himself. Maybe he knows something we don't. If it wasn't a mummy, then what was it?
If it was a mummy, how would we get mummy rot? No,
Ben, you might notice that I did not touch my plate again. It still has that stuff you asked if I was going to eat, and I have legitimately drifted off and dozed away.
Ben has totally taken that food.
Mirabelle says,
with a snarl.
well, did you find any treasure? Anything to prove, the riches of the mummy?
Oh, didn't we find that shiny ass dagger? Grim, and he elbows you.
What?
Somebody ate your food. It wasn't me. Show him that dagger.
Dagger. Oh, this dagger? Yeah, it is kind of shiny in the light.
So you pull out the dagger, and your eyes get wide. You haven't really looked at the dagger in good light. The dagger has a sharp blade, untarnished. Meidrax, roll me an Arcana check.
Whoops. 17.
It is clearly magical.
I told you guys it tasted magical.
I believed you.
I always forget every time Grim does like an Arcana check or something else that he's terrible at it. And so I'm always like, oh yeah, of course, the cleric might be okay. Nope, awful.
Hey, I'll check it. Wait.
Dumb.
We are pretty much the stupidest band of adventurers. Like,
I like this method of forcing you to take the negative. I think that was like I
love
don't mean like from a point of view of like honking my own horn or like yay I did great. I mean just I think the fact that we agreed on that and we went with it I think was a real strong move.
Yeah.
But also it was my idea, so I deserve all the credit. But like so it's the handle is interlaced with like platinum filigree, and the pommel is in the shape of like it's a sapphire in the shape of like almost like a shield. Like that's how the gem is faceted to look kind of like a tower shield, and etched inside of the gem is a symbol of crossed lightning bolts. Like deep inside, like those little glass things where they shoot the laser through to make the little like 3D image inside the glass. It's like that inside the gem. And you can see through the gem from both sides of the pommel. So it like has like a ring. Does this? I don't know if this makes sense, but like if you look at it from the side.
Is this even the same? Is this the same dagger?
It is.
Totally is. We just didn't really look at it.
Yeah, you never really like examined it, and then whiffed so badly. I was like, fuck it, done.
I feel like I'm looking at it for the first time.
I really am. Like,
Mirabelle kind of like.
I examine that.
So you examine it as Mirabelle's like taking it past, and as you kind of ask, she's like, "Look, Tarn! Look at what they took from the mummy." And she kind of just skips over to the bar with it, and she shows him, and he's like,
"You should not let people take your treasure." I tell the party.
And she kind of yells out, "Look, everyone! Look at what the heroes the heroes killed the mummy, the evil mummy deep in the woods, and brought back its treasure. All hail the heroes!" And there's like a route. She knows the crowd, so she knows she's just gonna get like drunken, like woo. But she doesn't. She holds up the dagger just long enough so like, oh, she had something, and then she like palms it back into her sleeve because she doesn't want people looking at it and being like, oh, that's actually really nice. Let's steal that. And she claps and brings over to back over to the table, and she says, and she kind of like hip checks Shae and throws her arm around you. She got her tray in the other hand, throws her arm around you, and the dagger slips out of her sleeve back onto the table in front of Grim. And she says, "Who knows? Some of these fellas might even buy you a drink now."
Shae just starts to blush really greenly.
You were living the life, Shae.
During that the rousing in the bar, Meidrax just shook his head and said, "Mummies are not in the woods."
Not anymore.
They are. Well, I guess they're not anymore. I like where your head's at, Grim.
All right, Shae, you have reached 10 hero points.
Woo!
Holla!
You now have the folk hero background
Hey.
for Baytown.
Cool.
Does that get her, like, free food or anything?
No, it gets her literally the entire background of, like, folk hero from the book.
That's awesome.
The
Sweet.
skills and everything?
Say again, I'm sorry?
The skills and everything?
I'm going to look over real fast.
It's just rustic.
I really just wanted to give you rustic hospitality and the title of folk hero. I forgot how much that it came with. And you don't get a land vehicle.
No!
So you get the title of folk hero and rustic hospitality in Baytown.
They don't give her a wagon?
You do not give her a wagon.
Some hero of Baytown.
So this city seems easily appeased if all you have to do is take a child and fight a creature in the woods and claim it as a mummy.
Well,
Who
don't forget the
is
mummy's
this
dagger.
guy?
They also essentially donated a shitload of gold to the city, but yeah. But yeah.
Well, Meidrax doesn't know that. He's just heard
he does
of
not.
saving the kid and fighting a mummy.
Plus all those boars they killed. You're like, I could be a folk hero.
Right, we killed boars. Forgot about killing the boars.
Oh, yeah.
Now, may I examine that dagger?
What do you think, Grim?
Slip Mirabelle Trapes over with it.
Yeah, sure, here you go. Keep an eye on this guy.
With my Arcana check from earlier, do I know anything about what its capabilities might be?
Yes, I have to find it again.
And how much it might be worth?
Worth is a tougher question. It has a spell stored in it.
Please say Shocking Grasp.
No, it's got Sword Burst stored in it.
Oh.
You may use Sword Burst. It has 3 charges, and it recovers 1 charge every dawn.
I do not know what Sword Burst does.
Oh, Sword Burst is from I want to say Sword Coast Adventuring Guide. You create a momentary circle of spectral blades that sweep around you. Each creature within range other than you must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take a d6 force damage. I think Shae has this spell.
I do, yeah.
Okay. I will hand it back to Grim and say, this is a potent weapon. It will attack those around you. All of them. Not just a single target.
Oh, sorry. You can also trade use all the charges on it, to when you attack with it, to immediately also cast Blade Ward on yourself.
Did you guys see him taste it at all?
No.
You don't know. I like that that's Grim's thing now.
I just accept it back, and I'm like, oh, yeah, thanks very much. Awesome.
Also, if you use all of its power during an attack, you will be protected from certain kinds of damage. Stabbing, slicing,
Mutilations.
What?
Uh-huh.
I like Meidrax. Meidrax is fun.
And I am
I've never
only a foot tall. But, okay.
What?
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 You're only what tall?
I don't know what you're talking about. How tall am I?
I don't know.
I don't know what's happening. Okay, so you appraise that to probably be in raw materials, probably a couple hundred gold.
Okay.
With the magic, you'd guess 650, 700.
All right. I'll tell them is worth between 200 and 700 gold.
It's a pretty big range.
Not inaccurate.
It is hard to decide. I've only seen magical weapons of the sort in Durham.
Oh, sorry. It is also magical. It is not a +1, but it is a magical
Yeah.
stabby. So its attacks count as magical.
I do not know what magical items would go for out here in the beyond the larger cities.
Okay.
Interesting. Shame it's a dagger, though.
Yeah. That's okay. I can use them. I'm not real good with them, but I can use them.
You should probably hang on to this one.
You also throw it. Hiya! Shit.
Yeah, I'm not going to throw this one.
Oh shit, where'd it go? Never throw daggers in the Briarwood, kid. Ever.
You do realize also kind of the dagger itself is probably the pommel and all that is probably some sort of heraldry. Probably has to do something with the knights of that fortress, or at least that commander himself, or whatever.
So,
And it's pretty.
So, Ark.
Yeah.
Now that Phen's done eating, he's going to start reaching into pockets, pulling out gems and coins and whatnot. Doing that party treasure split.
Okay.
Meidrax was about to get up and walk away from the table after bidding them farewell, but seeing this,
now
he
there's
will
money.
stay put, and eyes will go wide for the first time that you've seen him. And where did you make all of that coin and gems?
Killing mummies, but you don't think they're real, so...
Oh, they're real. They just stay in their sarcophagus in the desert.
And the forest. There's 6 more emeralds in there. How much are these worth?
I legitimately don't know.
It just said
7.
They came from the clergyman's room.
Wait, when did we rob the church? When did that happen?
Well, we got two bottles of greenish brown liquid from the clergyman's room, 6 emeralds, and the fancy boots.
I have the 20 gold emerald from the strong box, the 50 gold sapphire, the 25 gold purse, the 2 murky brownish or whatever potions from the priest's room, and then on the mummy and the 2 soldiers, there were 2, so 6 emeralds from them, 30 gold each.
30 gold each.
Yeah. little side note.
Do you make this kind of coin often?
Oh, yes.
So far,
Every damn day.
when we don't die.
Well,
Haven't
perhaps
died yet. We're
Jeff.
doing good.
I am good at both appraising and gems and keeping people alive.
Oh.
Would you perhaps want another companion on this journey?
I look at Grim, and I kind of just smirk.
I don't know. He didn't even taste the dagger.
Why would I?
I kind of get the feeling he just really needs a place to stay.
I think he's broke.
Yeah. Hungry. I mean, might not be bad to have somebody else along that could heal.
But he's got them shifty eyes. Look at him. They're so squinty.
Yeah, he's kind of squinty eyes.
What do you think, Shae?
The more the merrier, don't you think? I mean, let's keep this band of adventurers growing.
Band of miscreants. Phen will kind of sit himself up and smile and look around.
No.
Grow the
we're
brand.
We're still the good guys, aren't we?
Of course.
Miscreant good guys.
Shae smiles and comes down a bit. Good guys. Good guys.
So Phen kind of sits back down, reaches into another pouch and pulls out a pad of paper and a little piece of graphite. Starts writing numbers down.
What are you
Welcome
doing?
to the good guys, friend. We need a better name.
Shae and the Merry Three.
That's not better.
Grim dies of mummy rot.
Okay. You have one job before you can join the good guys. Phen grabs the gems and he kind of pulls all the coin that they've got, puts it back into another pocket. So here's what I need you to do. To prove you're one of the good guys, I need you to prove your trust. And he lays the gems out in front of him and says, I need you to get as much as you can for these, and you get 10%.
I will
Would
do
you
this.
It's actually pretty
That's
solid
nice.
considering you didn't do anything to get them.
I have a question for you, Grim.
Yeah?
Yeah?
You follow Valrie. Do you have
Oh, yeah.
great knowledge of the religions of the Celestium and the gods before them?
Let's say for the sake of argument, yes.
Now, when he says gods before them, that would probably give you a little bit of pause. Because the Celestium, where you're from, are the gods. Here in this land, you've heard much more about the creator gods or the major gods, who are understood where you're from, but are more like mythos or like kind of like, all right, this existed and whatnot. But here in these lands, the creator gods still sit above the Celestium, although
Got it.
not really as openly worshipped.
One, Valrie is more of a minor goddess anyway.
She's one of the Celestium, so she's one of the 26 gods. They all share essentially the same level of power. But then the creator
Sweet.
gods are the higher entities above that.
Gotcha. Okay. Sure, yeah, I've heard of those guys.
Have you ever heard of anyone being gifted power that is both arcane and holy or divine?
Oh, sure. Stories, anyway.
Really? and I bring up a firebolt in my left hand. And, well, first I have this crystal that's strapped to my forearm with a leather strap, and it glows, and my frills start to vibrate subtly. And I bring forth a firebolt in my left hand and a sacred flame in my right. Have you seen this before?
No, that's pretty good.
Stories?
It's attacking.
You hear from the bar, "No fire!"
No conjuring in the dining room.
I quickly put them. I am sorry. You did not inform me of your policies.
Show off.
That's pretty fancy.
And what was the point of this demonstration?
To basically just know if he had heard or seen anything like this before.
Fair enough.
Heard of, yes. Seen, no.
Well, now you have.
Now I have. I wish I'd paid more attention when I was younger.
Do you know of any possibility or any... I'm trying to find the words. Do you know what this is? One that is gifted without practice, arcane and divine power.
You mean like a word for it? No.
Oh.
Do you not know?
No, I do not.
So we're trying to figure out what you are.
Well, where my power comes from.
Close enough. Okay, I think I like him a little bit better now.
It has caused some problems in the last few weeks or months, and I am just trying to find where, what this is, where it comes from, and stay away from the trouble behind me.
Wait, you mean it's recent?
Yes.
Oh.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I can also do this, and just for the sake, just for whatnot, I do a small incantation, which Grim, you would know as a divine prayer, and you cast protection from evil and good on both you and Shae.
Which, Grim, you've never seen it cast on more than one person without two different blessings being done.
Wow. So this just started happening recently?
Yes, I was in an argument and I lost my temper, and things happened afterwards that I am not proud of.
Uh-huh. Okay, that part I'm familiar with.
You heard
Wow. Yeah, no, sounds like you may have come to the right spot. We've all got certain things we're trying to figure out. Certainly, recent manifestation of godlike abilities kind of falls into the same categories.
We can at least try to help.
Right?
Yeah.
We may not have answers, but we don't mind looking for them along the way.
I deeply appreciate that. I have aims to get to Altara and meet with the saints there to find out more information.
That's intriguing.
You don't know anything about saints, Grim. In Altara, you do know that Altara has or the closest thing to rivaling.
Rival.
That's a weird word. The splendor of the Seraphim Cathedral, not necessarily in size or ornament, but in divine grace and power. And you have heard that the Altaran clergy is made up entirely of priestesses.
Okay, then.
I'm sorry for referring to them as saints. That's kind of how you described them.
No. Yeah, no. You are correct in the information I gave you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Grim is from the other continent entirely. So he's from the eastern continent, whereas you guys are all from the Westerlands. So I'm just kind of playing the shell game of like what certain things are known where.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yes. Would any of you perhaps be able to sell a ship?
Phen.
Damn it, I was muted. What do you mean sell a ship? Do I have a fucking boat in my pocket?
Sail.
I do not know. I cannot see into your pocket.
Wait, you really think I might have a boat in my pocket? Damn, look at me, son.
Do you?
I thought you were just happy to see us.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why he would be happy with a boat in his pocket.
Dude, this guy's something else.
This party
Just made it even funnier.
fantastic.
I could probably get you on a boat.
I'm looking to cross the lake and a captain in a boat to take me. I suspect I will need more coin than I have. And that is why I'm looking for work here in Baytown.
10% coming your way if you could cash those gems in.
I will do my best. And I set off for a store.
At like 8 o'clock at night.
Boom! And he's off.
He starts to leave. It's up to you guys whether you want to stop him.
Wait, dude, they're probably closed. The smithy's right over there.
He points to a dwarf drinking at one of the tables. Very little meat left on a large turkey leg. Grease in his beard.
Okay.
This is so amazing.
Is that the Smith Roken I have heard of?
Yeah.
I will walk toward him.
Roken appears to be in good spirits. Does the party do anything, or do they just watch?
Oh, I'm going to order another round and watch.
Phen is dying.
Okay. As I approach, I'll say, "Hello, I am Meidrax of the Jewelers Guild of Bara. I am here looking for work as a gem cutter and jewel crafter. I hear that you are Roken, the smithy of this town."
He stares at you for a moment, and then just like busts out laughing and slams down the ale, and like some ale sloshes up by like pure dwarven physics and like magic. It sloshes back into itself and doesn't spill. And he says, "Sit down, Dragon Man. Sit down and have a drink."
Okay.
Roken looks like he's been here for a while, and has gotten into something.
May we talk business, Smith Roken?
Aye, lad. I'm Roken, Master Smith of Baytown.
Is he actually doing it, you guys? Look at that.
This is amazing.
What
if we told him to like stand on his head while he's doing it, he would do it.
As his dwarven custom.
Who is this guy? He's awesome.
I put the 6 emeralds down and say, I am to sell these for as much as I can to join that party of adventurers, and I point to the group.
We're snickering and waving.
He squints and like leans slowly past you, and then he just unleans past you again. You mean Shae and her boys?
I do not believe them to be boys. I think they are an adult or both adults.
He guffaws and like turkey and spittle kind of come out. He sloshes back the rest of his drink, and then he says, "All right. Emeralds. Aye, the green ones. Ah.
They are green.
Good man. Clever man.
I've never been called that.
I'll give you 150 for the lot."
These are well-cut gems. I believe they're worth more than that.
Aye, but not a lot of call to use gems here. Maybe on one of the caravans passing through, they'd buy, but I can give you 160, no higher.
Okay, so they were 30 each, he said?
Yeah,
So
he's shorting you about 20.
There's the sapphire, the 6.
Oh, you gave him all of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
I thought you just gave 6 emeralds.
No, all of it. Sorry, that was
All of it.
all the gems.
Shae's starting to feel
6
uneasy.
emeralds, the 7th emerald, and the sapphire. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put all of it down then.
He, in that case, offered you 200 for the lot the first time, and will offer you 220 the second time.
200.
It's 30 shy of the total.
Yeah.
I think you can do 10 gold better than that.
He looks at you, like, glares at you, and for a moment, you don't... For someone who does as much jewelry work as you do, being from the east, you have not had a lot of dealings with the dwarves. The dwarves... There are no dwarves in Osun. It's all... They're in kind of central to northern Nier, and then somewhat in Darum, and then Altara and Durnhost. So you've not had a lot of dealings with dwarves. So you have no idea. There's a brief moment where you think he's about to, like, be insulted and, like, lunge across the table at you. I'd like you to make a persuasion roll.
I don't have a clue what he's thinking by his look.
That's fair, too. Do a persuasion roll.
Roll initiative.
Oh,
Well, I guess I'm telling George that, then, whether or not Meidrax realizes that.
Okay, fair enough. I got a 17.
Okay. He busts out laughing and throws a little pouch on the table. And he says, "There's your extra 10 gold." And then he says, "Come by me shop tomorrow."
Why?
I don't have the rest of it on me. You have to leave a fellow something to drink.
Do you need a jewel crafter? Or, a jewelry crafter?
Maybe during the height of the season, but not right now.
Oh.
Mostly
Please
needs
tell
are
your patron
for...
that I'm in town.
Sorry, say that again?
Please tell your patrons that I am in town.
I will, lad.
I am an official member of the Jewelers Guild of Galbara, or Labara.
Are you? Sounds fancy. One of them, human houses over in the room.
Yes.
I that could be fun. He kind of thinks wistfully for a minute. Then looks at the bottom of his ale and holds up the cup and kind of jingles it. And it has a couple, like, almost like little lucky charms or, like, charm bracelet charms on, like, the handle of the stein. And those jingle a little bit. You don't know if that's what they're intended for, but that's what they're doing. And Mirabelle kind of signals them as she walks past, and she sachets her hips over to the bar and gets another stein and comes over and hands him that.
Did he give me the whole 230?
He gave you the extra 10 you asked for and told you to come to his shop for the 220. But he did not take the gems from you.
Okay.
So basically he gave you 10 gold.
Okay.
On the promise that you're to show up to get the rest of it.
Fantastic. I will,
Leave town?
Richer than you came!
No, I will yell, no matter how loud it is in here. Grim, Phen, and Shae, come join us.
I thought you were gonna go, we made 230 gold, and just waving it around.
He's not stupid. It's not bright.
Alright. Yeah, so. That doesn't, cause any sort of weird commotion or anything.
Okay. I mean, it's just yelling at the top of his lungs.
Phen, unable to control himself anymore, busts into laughter, falling out of his chair onto the floor, and is just tears rolling down his face.
Meidrax is confounded as he doesn't understand why this continues to happen everywhere he goes.
Everywhere he goes. Halflings falling out of chairs.
I think you broke him.
Alright, well, you guys are more than welcome to spend the rest of the evening drinking and enjoying at the Brass and Barley with Roken or however else. I don't know if there's any business anyone wants to be involved in.
Well, I will tell them about the deal I made with Roken, and then
and he'll nod along with it. Aye, come tomorrow.
And then I will also try to see if the Moon Elves need a jeweler at all.
As you approach them, they kind of look at you oddly. And they start to speak to you back in Elvish. Which
I don't understand that.
Okay.
Meidrax of the jewel. He does the whole condescending, talks louder and slower. I am Meidrax of the Jewelers Guild for the House Labara.
Labara.
One of them shrugs and the other nods and says, Labara, yes.
You know the house?
And this one is a female, and she kind of cocks her head to the side and kind of blinks at you, and she shrugs.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Please speak common, or draconic, or dwarven.
Mirabelle will pass behind you and says, they've only been speaking Elvish since they've been here. I don't know if they speak common.
Thank you. And I'll turn back to the elves and say, I am sorry for interrupting your meal. and I'll kind of
They
nod.
nod
and
enthusiastically.
I'll walk away.
Oh yeah, this guy's gonna be great.
Dude. Phen has a new toy, and his name is Meidrax.
Oh man.
Oh, this is going to be so good.
Yeah, well, I'll just have a couple of L's and then go back to the eaves to go to sleep.
I guess we should get a place to crash.
We have a place to
Don't we
crash.
have one?
Did we get one?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'm sleeping on the couch. You're the big spoon with Shae.
That's right. Oh, that sounds really good. After that long walk and all that food.
Yeah.
And the special entertainment.
Oh, this guy is fantastic.
When you get back to your room, there are the 2 beds, but the couch has been replaced by a nice cot.
Oh, hell yeah!
Hey.
Base upgrade number 1.
Cha-ching!
Only heroes get cots.
It's true. I feel like could have done a little nicer, but
Right?
You mean I'm sure we can ask for the couch back if you want.
no, this is great. Then climbs into his cot, gets all nestled in, and 30 seconds later he's asleep.
Man, that looks like a good sleep.
Right? I'm still working on getting armor off. Jeez.
Yeah, let me help.
Oh, I had a question. Does Shae wear armor?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I can twin cast mage armor.
Nice.
That's a good.
Fancy.
So, how much magic is in this world? You said that it's most people don't see magic in their lifetime.
Like, they might see, like, what we would consider, like, a really low-class, like, hedge wizard performing magic in, like, the town square or something.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But they're not going to be...
David Blaine.
Yeah, there might be, like, a local priest or shaman, like, near them who does stuff, but, yeah, they're not seeing, like, high magic.
Okay.
Obviously, in, like, the cities and, like, nicer, like, the more towards, like, super civilization you get, the more there is, but... anyone who served in the military has probably seen magic, just because, like, every ship has a wizard on it.
Huh.
But, in other battle, wizards and whatnot, but...
That's where that old phrase comes from. You never spit on a ship's wizard.
I feel like you just made that up, Grim.
Oh no,
You're a sailor, you should know that.
Been hearing that one my whole life. Is that not a real thing?
I don't know.
Which one's the sailor?
Phen
has some sailor background.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like I
Cool,
said,
so we don't even have to hire a captain.
Phen has a new toy.
Phen's alignment might be in trouble.
Yeah, well, no, I'm chaotic good. Like, that's Phen. He's a good guy. He will never use his power for evil in this case. He's gonna have him like introduce himself on his head. And
It's just a
asshole.
level up, and I can't. I mean, by level 17, I'll be able to read people's stuck within sight, but not now.
You know, it's Phen is chaotic excited.
For now, Grim is like entertained by the jokes, but there's like part of me that really feels bad for Meidrax.
And you know what?
Did I say it right?
think it's perfectly reasonable for Meidrax to start to learn. This is probably going to be the most he's ever spent with a group of people for a long period of time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So like, I totally would buy him, like just like Drax in
Yeah, that's
where it starts to rub off, and you're like, wait, do you get it? Obviously, you can go and do your sales to Roken, who starts up the forge at like 6 a.m.
Meidrax will go and pray first, and then go over there to exchange.
To the temple, or just on your own?
The temple.
Okay. When you
Is it me, or is he really devout for a jeweler?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
For a creator, an artisan.
So you go, and the church doors are unlocked, and you enter. There's no one in it, but there is what appears to be a young priest. His burlap, not burlap, but like Cossack robes, just like plain brown robes, are kind of hiked up around his knees, and he's cleaning. He's got a wet like a wet towel that he's kind of mopping around the wooden
By the
floors.
way, does the temple have a name?
It doesn't. It's just the Baytown Cathedral, or
Okay.
Cathedral of the Celestium.
Okay.
They tend not to have names. They tend to either just be the Shrine of, or Cathedral to, Church of, whatever. They don't have like names other than, unless they're a specific god or a specific like maybe if there's like 3 gods that are honored there, it might be like let's say it's 3 nature gods, it might be
It's the first South Baytown Church of the Celestium.
yeah, something, yeah. But so the young priest is kind of cleaning the floors around where the people generally kneel. So the big central area of the church has like every once in a while, there's no pews, but every once in a while there's like a wooden rail, and that would be where like the people come up and they kneel there and pray, and then the priests, as they have time, come over and can talk to the people or listen to whatever or answer questions or whatever. So they stand on one side of the rail and the people kneel on the other side, or they just pray there. So they're like pews, but there are no pews.
Okay.
And then each of the little alcoves has a shrine to that particular god.
I will pray before the symbol of the Celestium. And then,
the young priest will, while you're praying, will kind of clean off himself for a second, and then he'll stand, and then when you're finished, he'll ask you if there's anything he can do for you.
I will go through the spiel again.
Oh.
I need work, and then give him all the reasons I need work, and what I do for work, and all that.
Maintaining the brand.
If you mention the going to see the saints and all that, he'll express interest in like, oh, that would be an amazing pilgrimage. But he tells you he doesn't have any work that he can offer you.
Meidrax is a religion unto himself.
Does he have any information about this?
Yes. So he doesn't have much beyond just like he'll ask you, what do you want to know about the altar and priestesses. He says, I know some things.
How much knowledge do they have of the creator gods? And what makes them saintly?
He'll tell you, I have heard that their knowledge of the creator gods are second to none. And actually, the creator gods are more worshipped. I'm sorry, what?
I gotta step AFK for a minute. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. He'll say, sorry, and just a side fact, Altara does tend to have more connection to the creator gods and the Celestium, as well as the Celestium, more so than maybe some of the others. Dernhost and Altara, the creator gods more than like Darum and whatnot. Kind of the older lands to the west have a little bit more that. And he'll say, I imagine that the High Priestess would be unmatched in her knowledge of the divine, and unmatched in divine power herself. That is why they call her a saint.
Thank you, young priest. One last thing. Do you know of any books I may be able to buy about the creators or the Celestium?
He says, we have only our own meager repository of tomes here, mostly about the Celestium. Father Nihilus, I don't believe, keeps any records to Gaima and his brethren, but the academies in Oleria, Darum, or Altara certainly would hold the knowledge that you seek.
Olarium?
Oleria. It's the lands to the southeast, past the Great Forest. The land of the elves.
Okay, to the south, land of the elves.
Elventonville.
Well, it's human. The kingdom of Valeria is a human kingdom, but it's also where the elves are from.
Okay. Well, I will thank him again and leave. Heading to the smith's.
All right. Do the rest of you want to meet him at the smith?
I'm not going to that church.
It's not that I don't trust him. I just want to make sure he doesn't run off with the money.
Yeah, I didn't know if you guys made a deal to meet him there with the gems or what. But
let's say we did that.
Instead of just leaving the gems on the table in the inn.
they're still just there.
Wait, I thought you brought them.
Some sailor's having the best night.
Mirabelle is like, woo, what a tip. She retires.
She's got all her wishes from the Fairy Queen. All right. So you're able to sell the gems easily. Roken is working on some sort of device for the collaring of horses or something.
Can I casually flash the dagger, make sure he sees the hilt of it in my belt at some point, and see if he says anything?
Yeah. You not so casually flash the dagger at him. And he says, "Don't you be bringing weapons like that into me shop without showing me right and proper."
I'm sorry, what?
Let's see it.
Oh, you want to see this?
He starts pointing at you with his hammer, which is still kind of like glowing red from hitting things.
Oh, this old thing? Here, take a look.
He takes it from you and kind of lays within his hand. He says,
Is there something special about it?
"This is
we found
quite
it.
Nice. You do have a lot of luck finding things, don't you?
Well, we found it kind of in a mummy. I mean, not exactly. That's a slight exaggeration, but...
That's how you get the rot boy.
You know, I wish I'd talked to you before, because it turns out you are so not wrong.
He eyes you because he was making a joke about something else, but
Sorry,
now
I'm
he's
back,
unsure.
guys.
I did not get the joke right over my head, because I'm like nodding, like, yeah, that's exactly how you get the rot.
Meidrax there?
What?
Is Meidrax there?
Yeah.
Okay. He says, "What, did you eat it?" And laughs so hard.
I just stare like, what? And I think back to when I tasted the dagger.
Urokin will say, "This is a fine blade. Human make. Altarin." He'll kind of hold it by the tip of the blade and kind of wiggle it back and forth, dangling it over your hand for you to take it back.
I'll just reach out and wait for him to, like, set it down.
He drops it in your hand.
Ow, damn it. Wait,
He was holding the blade up.
Oh, okay. Altarin. Aren't we going to Altara?
I would like to.
That's what I thought.
Border's just up north. Or across the lake.
Glad you like it. If I don't end up using it in Altara or trading it for something crazy, maybe I'll come back and you and I can make a deal.
He rubs the the red hot hammer on his beard, and it kind of like smolders a trail. And he said, "Aye, maybe." Kind of pats it out.
Whew, that smells really bad.
You're not supposed to say that, Grim.
Oh, sorry, was that out loud? Shit. I mean, thanks. It was good doing business with you. We should get going.
Where are we going?
I don't know. Let's just get out of here. It stinks like dwarf hair.
I don't know.
It probably literally just like lit a little bit of like blacksmith grease and like not actual hair. It's probably impossible to like light anything of his on fire without like burning for a day and a half.
He just combusts.
He's just actually his beard is just in a constant state of smoke.
Okay, have we left?
I sure hope so.
Okay, I will say I got 230 gold for the gems. Does that suffice for my entry into your group of good guys?
Yeah, it's good for me.
That was pretty good. Don't forget to keep your 10%.
I will. I will take 23 gold out and hand you guys 207.
Boom.
207 divided by 3. Phen reaches in the pouch and starts counting out.
How heavy is that gold, Phen?
It's pretty heavy. That's why I'm going to split it up right now. He gives Shae and Grim 69 gold each.
So I have a question. I want to gain proficiency in religion, and I was wondering how you want to play me learning it. I will, I'll offer Grim to teach me about the gods in the Celestium, and pay for his lodgings when we are in towns.
That sounds fair.
Yeah, I'd say over time we can get there.
To be fair, yeah, my knowledge is not... You might be disappointed by how much I know about the Celestium and the different gods.
Because you are not an intelligence character, right?
Well, I'm not an intelligence character, and I didn't exactly grow up learning this stuff
correctly.
Yeah, let's just say most of what I learned was overheard.
So you don't actually have proficiency with religion?
I do.
Oh, okay.
But with proficiency, so far, that's a +1.
Alright.
With my proficiency bonus, it's a +1.
Right, so I have heard a lot of stories. I can probably remember a good portion of those stories. Some of them seemed inappropriate, so I don't know that they're exactly about the Celestium, and maybe not just poor jokes. But I'm happy to impart everything I know.
Fantastic.
I'm actually, I feel a kindred spirit with anyone who is trying to figure out something about themselves, especially when it comes to something powerful.
What has manifested for you? Say in character.
Really hard to describe. Let's just say if it shows up, you'll know when you see it.
May.
Smay?
I may know what you are speaking of. I may, know it when I see it, as you said.
That would be fantastic.
So yeah, I'm just looking for work. I'm just going to go around town looking for work. That's it.
So, Phen.
What?
You think you could go work some of your sailor bro magic and score us a ride across the lake?
I could try.
And give it a shot?
Yeah. We ran into some sailors before, didn't we?
Oh, we even talked to the commander dude up in the lookout house thing because of that weird shit we saw.
Well, that's the Navy.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever.
That's what I'm saying.
It could be a Navy ride.
I'll go to the Navy ride. They might not make us work. They might just do it for free.
Hey.
I'll see what I can do.
Excellent. I think
so. Phen will go down to the dock and start working that magic.
We get him on his quest and get him with his stuff figured out and earn a little coin along the way. He might stop bugging everybody about making jewelry for him.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
He starts adding, I can fix jewelry as well.
It's actually a solid ad.
Wouldn't it just be easier to make a pamphlet or something? And just
you know what? I kind of feel like I should hire him to fix my holy symbol. There's nothing wrong with it.
Don't feed it; it'll never go away.
Well, that's okay. That's good advice. That's wisdom, right there. I almost made a really big mistake.
Can I have a bonus point of wisdom? Because I'm like wisdom 10.
Don't you already? You have more wisdom than I have intelligence.
Yeah, no, my wisdom and intelligence. Oh no, my wisdom's 11. My intelligence is 10.
Wow. My wisdom ain't bad, but my intelligence makes up for it. Apparently I'm wise, just not smart.
Happens to the best of us.
Really weird.
All right, Shae, what are you going to
do? Not much. I guess I'm gonna sit by I'll just hang around the tree and do some people watching while Phen works his magic.
All right, Grim, anything particular?
No, I'm actually gonna kind of sort of keep an eye on Meidrax, like from a distance, and just kind of giggle as he walks around and bothers people.
Like knocking on farmhouses, knocking on the door for farmhouses and whatnot. Talking to people in the fields.
Going up to little kids.
First, no soliciting signs.
You guys should convince him that he needs to start all his sales pitches with, "Have you heard the good news? There's a jeweler in town."
I think I just need to convince him to wear a sandwich board that advertises everywhere he goes. Doesn't have to talk to anybody. They'll be able to see it. Well, in like 6 different languages.
Yeah.
Will jewel for food.
Only in Halfling it'll actually say, "Get a load of this fucking guy."
Follow me for fun. Signed, Phen.
Love it.
Okay, so Phen, where are you starting?
I'm
We're gonna
gonna
presume Meidrax has no real luck, and we're gonna move on to Phen. I think that's mostly fair.
Seems reasonable.
Uh,
Fenn's gonna go try and run down those, select maybe the Navy privates or something like that to.
while you do that, I'm going to pull Meidrax aside and start going over Celestium stories, just kind of on the down low.
Right. So, on the, next to the dockhouse, there's always, like, one, naval officer kind of standing guard. Usually kind of by the door, and then there's always, one Navy guy kind of walking around the docks, kind of like lazily patrolling. And then the rest are usually holed up either on their ships, one of which is out on the lake, and one of which is on the dock, or at the dock. The rest are up in their offices or in the tower or whatever.
So I'll find the one that's doing the lazy patrol and talk to him for a minute. Ask him how the sea's been treating him, and standard sailor jibe.
Yeah, he seems mostly kind of just upset or a little bit annoyed. He recognizes you, so he kind of upset or a little annoyed that he doesn't get to go out on the lake often. He mostly is relegated to guard duty. When he joined up with the Navy, he wanted to set sail, and he never gets to do it. But he says, yeah, things are going pretty okay. Boring right now.
Fen will banter with him for a minute, telling him, keep at it, you'll get there. Trying to be in, good spirits and enthusiastic for him. Crack a joke here and there, just try to cheer him up.
Sure.
And then he'll start asking, like, hey, is there any ships going to Aldrune? That's the city, right, Aldrune? Altara.
Which is actually the entire country. It's
It's
basically the entire northern half of the lake.
He'll ask if there's any patrols headed up that way in the next couple of days that have room for 4 heads.
He
4
says,
mouths.
not from us, and we don't allow civilians on our ships.
What about any merchant ships? Do you know of any?
He points to a big 3-masted ship at the edge of the harbor and says, I think that one's heading to once she finishes loading, but that's not for a few weeks yet. I think she's heading across to Altara. Resupply maybe near Kasan, so that means it's probably heading straight across and unloading on the northern side of the mountains, pretty close to the border with Dernhost and Kasan and Altara. He points to some of the smaller ones. He says maybe some of these are running further north. I'm not sure. They don't have to manifest that clearly. And I haven't looked at the ledgers. He says, of course, the one you want to be on. And he points to a sleek ship that must have just arrived yesterday. You hadn't noticed it, and being as tired as you were, you didn't really look out here. But it's it also has 3 masts, but is much smaller build than the big merchant ship. It's not for carrying cargo, but it looks like it could carry a good amount. It's as you look closer, you see that it's actually kind of decorated. It has a plank coming down, a nice walkway coming down, and it has like ribbons tied around the little guardrails down to the thing. It has like little lights festooned here and there. Almost like canopies and whatnot have been set up on the ship. There doesn't seem to be a lot of activity out there now in the early morning, but you see that the front of the ship is carved into the shape of like a bird with its wings spread back, like a small compact bird with a needle shape, like a hummingbird, with a needle shaped prow going forward.
Okay.
And it has where the wings fold back, their wings and feathers, and then the feather kind of like curls back into like the shape of a rose.
It's a pretty boat. Who runs that?
He says that would be the Guild of Roses.
Agriculture?
Brothels.
Got it.
But that's news to you because you've never seen a brothel boat before. So that's exciting.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Anybody else hear the Love Boat theme?
Well, who could I talk to about maybe getting a spot on that boat?
He laughs and pats you on the shoulder and says, "Your banker."
Oh, no. Like, I want to ride. I don't want to... I'm taking Shae somewhere.
He says, "I think passage on that one costs quite a bit. But I guess you can always go speak to the lady captain."
All right, I can win her over. Where's she at? This should be good.
He kind of scratches his head. He says, "I think sleeping off last night."
Good for her. I guess it is
Heyo.
kind of, huh?
It is early, yeah.
All right. I'll go wander around the merchant ships and see if there's any going where we need to go, or determine if the Guild of Roses is a plot hook for Ark.
No, just a fun ship I wanted to put there.
Ah.
So it sounds like any of the ships that are heading kind of to Altara aren't looking for people because they're either fishing or making too many stops or have too much cargo. The big three-masted one will leave in 2 weeks' time and is heading. So if you're looking at the map, does your map have the mountains on it?
No, it does not.
Okay. See on the western edge where it sweeps back into the center of the lake, that big jut out.
Yeah.
The bay to the north of that is where that boat is going.
Okay,
Oh,
so
if you kind of
basically
imagine that's a
we're
face. See the little eye, that's that little body of water,
Oh,
then the
yeah.
big nose, and then the mouth. You're heading right into the mouth.
Oh, no.
And now I can't unsee that.
How long till they leave?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh.
You find out that passage on the ship, if you're gonna work, is 3 gold. If you're not gonna work, is 6 gold.
Damn. Spendy.
And that's just what the foreman tells you, whether or not accurate or if you could finagle that in any way.
Right.
Because don't forget, they could be guild sailors. There could be other affiliations that you could exploit.
Right.
Maybe they just want a hero like Shae or her entourage to owe them a favor.
Being able to sell a battle-ready wizard on a ship, if they don't already have one, is no small cost savings if they're looking for something like that. They may not feel they have a reason for it at the moment, but you never know what happens in 2 weeks.
Right. So I'll kind of go down that angle of, trying to sell Shae as a magic user who can not only hold her own, but has held her own for the town in the past.
He says, well, if you're coming on with a ship's wizard willing to put in the appropriate work there.
I mean, I can't say for sure that she's going to be able to do everything. What do they do? I mean, I probably would have been around it enough to know.
So typically, fire magic is a big one. To burn down enemy ships, send up signal flares, any sort of storm magic is usually pretty popular. But in general, just the ability to provide high-end magic to turn the tides of.
What about hexing?
Detection.
How does hexing fall in the list?
Usually come up. But
it could be good for whoever's piloting the ship.
Yeah. So you're saying it's a specialty?
Yeah. But so storm magic, fire magic, because obviously ships burn. The ability to detect and scry and all that.
No,
I mean,
no, can't do anything.
Probably not going to be able to do everything that we need them to do, but we can. We got a cleric who's seems to be pretty good at keeping me alive, and well, look at me, I'm a halfling, always getting in trouble. And then we met some other guy who's doing some weird stuff with magic.
He kind of gives you luck. He says, we don't want weird stuff with magic. One time had a person on the boat, blew up a quarter of our cargo, turned himself into a plant, stayed that way.
That's an unfortunate trick.
Do boats have any need for, jewelry repair?
He says, I don't think so, no.
Well, we got us a fine jeweler here.
He'll tell you that if you can bring a ship's wizard, or a sea witch. No, don't bring a sea witch. Don't do that.
Find a sea witch.
If you can bring a ship's wizard,
we could bring you a sandwich.
They will waive that person's passage and 3 companions. Or
right.
3 entourage. Retainers, as it were. Because often these ship's wizards, when they're not in the military, the ship's wizards, they travel well, let's say. But these are pompous hedge wizards who maybe know fireball or have a wand or something. Magic missile can make pomp and circumstance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have a sacred flame.
The fact that you're not charging him for a ship's wizard is enough for him to immediately give you 4 people's passage to Altara.
Right. So we just got to find a ship's wizard. Got it. We got us a ride.
2 weeks time.
I'll go find Grim and kind of break that down to him. And it's going to have to be...
Otherwise, it's 6 gold apiece?
Yeah.
The best part will be when all 3 of you show up and are like, I'm the ship's wizard, and it just all falls apart. Because it just wasn't clearly communicated who was supposed to be the wizard.
Oh no, that's what I'm going over.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be our friendly neighborhood jeweler. Because because he knows who we are. So, being a hero's not paying off this time.
So, Meidrax, how are you with magical fire?
I have this, and I conjure a firebolt.
You hear from inside the tavern, no fire! No.
I don't really think that'll fly.
It's more magic than they have. The average ship sailor is not going to know the difference between firebolt and fireball until they're like, I feel like usually there's more explosion. But most of them probably haven't seen it in action. There hasn't been
Okay,
cause for
guys.
it.
Here's where the plan breaks down. Meidrax, so in 2 weeks, roughly, we're going to go on a ship, and they will let us go without spending any gold to where we want to get to. But you can't tell them that you want to fix their jewelry. The way we get there is that you have to lie and tell them that you are a trained ship's wizard. And do that little thing with the fireball that you just did. Do you think you could pull that off?
I do not lie.
Okay. So what if
I got an idea.
What if in the next 2 weeks we were to train you to be a ship's wizard?
There it is.
Bingo.
And then it would not be a lie. Then you would just have a new skill set to add to your repertoire.
3 of us who should never play a game together.
We can try.
Well, I mean, between myself and Shae,
I've been on water
and Phen, who knows what a ship wizard's supposed to do.
Phen knows the ships, and we know some wizardy things. And I think we can teach you what to do over the next couple of weeks, so that you could provide a valuable service and earn passage for yourself and the 3 of us across the water.
That is possible.
Okay.
It's gonna be a mountain.
That's easy.
No, there must be like some Celestium stories about gods of the sea that I can work into this thing for him to make it more interesting.
Tiberian.
There we go. See? Oh, yeah, no, Shark God. We've got 2 weeks to learn about that and being ship's wizard. They kind of go hand in hand, right, guys?
Yeah, buddy.
See?
Very well. I will learn these sea gods.